All right. So as the battle sort of finishes up, you do see there's that decapitated body sitting over there in all armor. You see that it has a mace with it, and it's sort of leaning there. The head is missing. You see that the gear itself appears to be intact. The armor's all there, minus the helmet, of course. And you see there's a pouch, sort of a kind of a satchel that's over his shoulder, that's sort of held there kind of underneath him a little bit, and you see the mace is sort of kind of was sitting in his hand and sort of just laying over his lap, and it looks like they pretty much just chopped the head off that you see here. If you remember, there is the door to the behind you, kind of where Nar's at, where the steps go. There was a door that's there, and then there was several doors that was down the hallway, including one at the end, which is sort of kind of got this wood that's sort of warped. Looks like the door's sort of been almost like warped and curved, and just doesn't really sit in the frame very well with the way that it looks. It's kind of twisty and everything that's in there, but it's still closed there. And I think that's pretty much where we were.
I'm gonna bend over and search the body.
Lee, as you bend over and kind of do a quick search, you see that the mace easily comes off the hand, and you see the satchel that's there. So you're able to sort of take the satchel off. It sort of connects in the front, and as you sort of pull it out, the body sort of slides a little bit and slumps into the ground, or lays down just a little bit more, and looks kind of uncomfortable as the head sort of scrapes against the wall, leaving a small little blood mark all the way down. And you're able to pick up the satchel. You feel like there's a bunch of stuff inside of it. As you pull it up.
I'll hand it to Aerith.
The bloody satchel? Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're the magic detector.
That's what I was coming over here to check. Is there anything magical that I could see?
Yeah, so as you pick up the satchel, there isn't, and none of the armor, the satchel itself and the armor and the mace are not magical.
Does his armor have like any identifying crest or anything?
It does, and you can immediately recognize as you sort of look through and kind of lift up his shoulder on the left sort of spalders. You see that there's the symbol of Saint Cuthbert on the shoulder.
Hey, Gassy, do you think this is the priest that we're here looking for? Sacrum?
I'm thinking that's his body, but I've never seen him, I don't think.
Yeah, you haven't. You've heard of him, right? Because, but when you arrived was long after he had left on a pilgrimage out to Caesarea.
I'll open the satchel to see if the wands are in here.
Okay. So as you kind of open up the satchel and take a look inside, you see that the satchel has what looks like 4 gems that are in it, sort of these blue gems. You also see there's 3 empty potion bottles. There is a ring that immediately sort of lights up as you take a look to see, but otherwise you don't see any wands inside the bag.
Okay. He might have stashed the wand somewhere.
Well, let's check that room they were trying to get into.
I'm listening at each of these 3 doors.
Okay, sounds good. So as you go to the first door and take a listen, you don't hear anything behind it, and there as you kind of move on to the second door, you see there's a large sign that hangs kind of near the door, and you see that it says cold storage. And as you kind of listen to the door, you hear the sounds of what sounds like sort of things, little crackling sounds in there, and whatnot. But otherwise, you don't hear any sort of voices or anything.
I'll listen at the last door.
Can I use my hit dice while he's doing that?
Yep, you sure can. So this door is, you see, is a kind of a solid reinforced door, and it sort of bulges at the seam, almost as if the wood has been melted and expanded to kind of wedge itself into the frame. And the iron bars that reinforce the door are caked with frost. You see that there's three sort of bodies of the thugs that are huddled next to it, sort of at the bottom of the thing, and you see one of the body grips sort of an extinguished torch that's there.
I'm gonna check these casks that are right in front of me.
Okay, already gotcha. So just kind of open them up or kind of see
Yep.
what's there. Yeah, so as you kind of pop the cork off of one of them in the front, you immediately see there's some sort of a mead or an ale that starts to sort of pour onto the ground.
I'll take one of my flasks and fill it up and then plug it back up.
All right, nice. So you fill up your flask and put the plug back in.
I'm doing important work back here, fellas.
Were all three of those doors locked?
No, they weren't. A matter of fact, none of them were locked per se. Just the one at the far end is the one that's kind of frosted over and the wood's all warped and everything.
I'll open that one up and see what's in there.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, you can go ahead and open it. As you open it up, you see that the room contains what looks like fruits and vegetables, but most of them have sort of been thrown on the dirt and on the dirt floor, so they're kind of scattered about. You see there's some bags and boxes. The sacks have sort of been dumped out, and the crates have kind of been emptied over and smashed as you kind of look through. Eris, as you take a drink of that mead, it's got a really nice sort of earthy taste to it, and you immediately recognize that it's made from some fruits that are well known around the area and typically come up into Cauldron on special occasions and things of the sort.
I'm gonna open that second door up.
Alrighty, go ahead. So as you open up that door, you see that the room, as soon as you open it, it feels sort of moist and humid as this air sort of comes through. And you see on several sides of the wall, there's meat hanging from hooks into the ceiling. And you see there's a lot of storage bins that sort of line the west wall. But on the far end of the room, it's pretty much empty except for an open metal box lying on its side. And the box is sort of lined with a slowly melting kind of frost or snow, if you want to think of it as such. And there's a large sign that hangs near the door as you open it up, and it says in bold red letters, says "No fire beyond this point."
Where is that at?
It's just inside the room. Sort of as you open up the door, you can see the sign. It's just kind of on one of the west wall, and it says "No fire beyond this point." It's kind of like so when you walk in the door, you can sort of see it.
Can I check the wall? Gassy,
Yeah.
maybe there's like some kind of hinge or something, or hidden door to open up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have you go ahead and do a perception check to see if there's anything abnormal. Yeah, Eris, so you search the wall. You see that the wall is made of stone, and you kind of move, around the sort of the meats and supplies that are in here, and you kind of search the wall really well, and it appears to be exactly the same stone that you've seen on the other walls. You don't see anything that looks like a door or a secret door or trigger or anything of the sorts.
You said there was a box in here too?
There is. There's a box kind of, I think I'd said it's either on the western or southern wall. I can't remember exactly which one I said, but there's a box there, and it's a metal box, and it's overturned, and the lid is open, so it's kind of laying on its side. And you see that there's like this frost that's sort of on the box itself, almost as if you want to think of like something you took out of the freezer if you put something in there with frostburn on it. But you see that it's melting. So the frost that's on there, like along the creases and the edges, has sort of disappeared, and it sort of looks like it's wet and glistening towards the edges of where the frost is centered on the main box. The room is a little bit cooler than the other rooms, but not terribly.
And I
Does
don't
it look
see.
like a natural frost, or can I tell?
As in, what do you mean? As a
Like,
natural?
is it like just because it's cold, or is it because
Oh,
a spell was placed on it, or?
gotcha. Yeah. So it looks to be like frost you would see in the mountains with snow and whatnot. It doesn't have a funny appearance to it, I guess. If you want to check to see if it was a spell, you could do an Arcana check.
While he's doing that, I'm just going to check with my Eldritch Sight to see if there's anything magical in there.
Gotcha. Sounds good. So, Gassia, it looks like typical frost, to be honest with you. And you, as you look at it, it doesn't have anything that looks like a spell or whatnot. And at least to your abilities, you think that it's melting appropriately and all that stuff.
Okay. And this door I can't open, I take it.
Yeah, that door, the wood is sort of all warped and everything and swollen, and it sort of has jammed the door shut.
Hey, Jack, you want to try to open this door?
Okay.
Remember, he can't
Oh,
talk for a while.
oh, does he not have talk right now? Can't remember.
Oh, he couldn't. That's right. It was
It
for
was
an
for an
hour.
hour. I don't know if that's expired yet or not. I don't think so.
Oh, he would pretend to talk, I guess. I forgot about that.
New Jack, I rebooted him. Let's see.
That's fair enough.
Let me try breaking this down.
All right, so you see Jack. Jeez, OP. Rolling a 20. So you guys see Jack sort of, I don't know, how would Jack break the door down?
He'd get his Inspector Gadget hammer out and then
Nice.
just barely tap the door and it would explode.
Yeah, so it barely hits it, and you see that the door, maybe it was the coldness of the wood and the metal that's there, but as soon as it hits it, you do see that it immediately sort of the metal cracks and whatnot, and the wood sort of pushes the door through, and all of a sudden the door just sort of slams down. Now, as that happens, you guys feel this cold rush of air just comes kind of like flying through, or Jack can kind of feel it there too as it goes right on by. And I need Jack to make a Constitution saving throw.
I was actually standing behind him, but
Oh,
I
you were?
moved.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. I'll have you make one at advantage for me. Actually, either that or dexterity. So you could feel that rush of cold. If you want to do a dexterity save, that's fine.
With advantage or not?
No, it would be either Constitution with advantage or it would be dexterity without. Yeah, I don't blame you. Alrighty, so as that happens, as Jack sort of hits that, he feels this cold come over him. Jack. And he takes 20 points of cold damage
Oh no.
as as his hammer immediately sort of frosts over because he's metal. And you see that like half his arm is frozen and everything is like ice cold as that occurs.
Well, don't stick your tongue on him.
That's awesome. And as you kind of do that and the door falls forward, you feel the room feels about near freezing. You can feel that cold air kind of come down the hallway there. And Jack, as you peek in, you see there's a thin layer of frost that coats the floor and the walls, all on this northern side of the room. And then as he kind of peers in, you see there's a low circular well that sort of sits in the center of the room, and its mouth is kind of partially covered with a few flanks of wood.
I balance against the wall so I don't go slip sliding in there.
Sounds good. And so as you kind of make your way to the south there, you're kind of seeing that the well is there and whatnot. And Eris, you see there's someone sort of leaning with their back against the well, kind of hiding behind the rocks itself. You can see the legs and whatnot right there. And you see that they're wearing what looks like sort of a blackish brown sort of tunic pants. And as you come around, you see there's this long silvered hair, dusky skin female who's sort of sitting there, and you can see that she's got sort of wounds on her face and whatnot. And as she kind of turns and looks to you, she says, "This is time, isn't it? I shall stand up and take what you're going to give me."
Oh, hey, no, we're here to help. We're
She
here to help. We were called by Sacrum.
sort of brushes off her pants as she kind of stands up and kind of wipes her butt off from all the dirt and everything, and stands up, and you see that she has definitely appears to be a drow of sorts, or some sort of drow background, and you see that she's wearing what looks like traveling clothes here, and she has underneath that tunic what looks like leather armor that she's wearing. Said, Sacrum, is that who you said?
Yes, my group and I were the Aquanauts. We got called from, Sacrum called the church in Cauldron, and they sent us to come help.
Kind of stands up, and as she's standing, she looks to you, and she sort of leans against the rocks, and she says, is the upper levels clear?
Well, we think so. And who are you?
Ascension. Shensen Tesserel. She kind of wipes off the hand and sort of reaches out to give a handshake to you.
I'll shake her hand.
Okay. And as you do, you feel the firmness of her handshake sort of gives you confidence that this is definitely a woman that can hold her own, in a battle or climbing, things like that. She has that strength in the arm and the conviction of sort of giving your handshake a nice firm shake, and she. Don't suppose you saw anybody else alive upstairs? Anyone else that wasn't one of those red bandana fools?
I don't think we ran into anybody unless they were hiding.
Just a few mates, prime mates.
There was that. I assume that was Nar saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of looks to you and she says, "In the monkeys?"
Yep. Yeah. A few of those.
She kind of says, "Well, good. I'm glad. Hopefully they're gone. I hope."
Yeah, I think most of them are gone.
They kind of went up in smoke.
Yeah.
Whatever we didn't roast ran away.
So, Gassy, as you're kind of standing there, kind of over the door, you feel this coldness that's just sort of permeating through the door there, and it gets into your boots, and you can feel the feeling on the bottom of your feet starting to sort of disappear from the cold of that door as it's iced over now, and now that it's laying on the floor, and you see it's the frost continues to get heavier on the door itself.
It's kind of cold in here. Maybe we should go somewhere warmer.
You see, she's now you've recognized that she actually is. You notice her visibly shivering, and you can see that her lips have sort of a frost that's just over the top part of her lips, and you see like the tip of her ears are sort of frosted over as well. And she sort of nods. She says, "If it's safe, I would prefer it. I didn't think I had much time left in here."
Oh yeah, it's safe. Is there anything in the well?
Just water, unfortunately. I was hoping it was an escape. Because my trap didn't work very well. I grabbed whatever was in that box over there and brought it into the room, and unfortunately I sort of tripped as I came through the door, and it scattered all over the floor. And I quickly closed the door and tried to warp the wood here to make it so they couldn't get in.
Well, it seemed to work. There are a couple of them that didn't make it.
As she gets to the door, you see that she sees those three bodies that are there, and you hear her sort of sigh, and she says something to someone. You hear some small prayer of sorts as she looks at the body, and she says, "Ah, so much death." And she sort of steps over the bodies.
Did you know Sacrum?
It's like, "I don't know the name you're talking of."
I'll show her the body in the corner.
Okay. As she kind of looks over, she sort of sighs. Didn't know his name.
What was in the box you took?
Just going to put that token for her because I guess I don't have a token for her. So she sort of gets a sort of a wry smile, and she looks to you and she says, "Well, it seems that the master of this tavern had acquired something from some dungeons for keeping the meats cool. Ingenious, to be honest with you. A little brown mold never was ever used so well as that."
Is that what's in there on the floor?
Yes, yeah. I tried to kind of scoop some up and bring it over with me in a last-ditch effort to sort of protect and barricade the door, but I dropped it, and I broke the small little container I had it in. I wasn't willing to pick it up again. Probably should eat that meat. It's going to go bad.
So, what were you doing here at the inn?
We're sure everything's okay. I'm more than happy to tell the story, but it may take a little bit of time. Lee, did you... I know you had opened that door. Did you look inside and walk around? Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
I did.
Yeah, so as you go in, you just why we're kind of here. So you see there's these several racks, so almost like cabinets that are there, and they have sort of a lattice work of across them, and you see that they have kind of diamond shapes all the way down on both sides. You see that there's several bottles that are sort of smashed on the ground here, and you recognize that this is a wine cellar of sorts, but you see that it's already been sort of ransacked.
I'm gonna, while I was searching through here, I wanted to see if I could find anything that stands out,
Okay,
like
gotcha.
maybe a hidden compartment or anything like that.
Yeah, sure, it sounds good. All right. So Lee, you kind of look around, and you don't see anything that looks like any hidden compartments. Down at the very far end of one of them, yep, all the way down there, you do see that on the floor there's sort of a stone that's easily to move. You're able to pick that up, and you see there's a small bottle of looks like some precious sort of drink that's in there. It's probably would be just maybe twice the size of a large flask. There's probably about 8 or 10 drinks in it, or sips. It has a label on it, and it says, circa, I don't know, what is it? Where are we at? I can't remember what year we're in. 948 or something like that.
So
And
it's
then,
like an old bottle of alcohol.
yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what it looks like. I saw a couple rolls in the tower there. I assume I know what they're for, but if you guys want to tell me what you were rolling for there, you can whisper it if you want, or tell me out loud. It's up to you.
My insight roll was to see if she really was willing to tell us why she was here.
Ah, okay. All right, gotcha. I figured that's what it was, but I wasn't sure. And so, you know,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, no worries. So, so you kind of get that sort of feeling there, and you see Tesseril kind of walks over to the body as well, Eris, as you guys are there, and Lee, you were kind of searching that area, and she sort of leans down, and as she does, you again hear she repeats that sort of that prayer under her breath, or that little bit of wording that she has, and you catch the name of. Of a god that you recognize, and that's Farlahang. I don't know if you guys remember that god, Farlang.
I thought he was a halfling god.
Farlang is what it is. And she sort of kind of stands up, and she says, "This is that was his name, huh? Sarkum."
Oh, yes, yes, that was his name.
Didn't have much time to really talk about names at that point. Unfortunately, things were we were in a dire position.
So, who was this group of people who assaulted this place?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I was sort of making my way down the traveling road here, and traveling from Hollow Sky through Cauldron, heading up towards Sassarine. And as I was making my travels, I could see that the inn appeared to be in some sort of a battle or a fight or whatnot, and obviously there's no place to stay on the road, and it was getting late, so I came in, and as I did, I had found several people, several of the maybe the establishment, the owners. They seemed to know the place well, and this cleric of sorts, and they were in sort of the big room fighting off some baboons, and even this grotesque sort of human, half baboon, half sort of humanoid orc creature, and immediately I could recognize which side was the right and which side was the wrong. I think that I'm not sure exactly what had happened, but we started to battle, and as we did, we sort of pushed our way from the inner room and kind of made our way back to the kitchen. That's when, unfortunately, our the I assume the owner, proprietor, and his wife were slain, and cleric had said, "Please follow me down the stairs," and we had come down here, and as you can see, unfortunately, he was felled.
Did you all see any type of baboon person?
I did. We fought him quite well. I think he had piercings down the chest and on his back, and he was voracious in his combat. I had never really seen anything like that before. It was startling to me, and we were battling side by side, and the little roguish people were constantly fighting, and as we were sort of pushing our way through this room, that's when Sacrum fell, and I knew we didn't have much time as they were sort of cowling or howling and yelling as his body fell, and they kind of ran over to him right away. So I quickly ran down the hall and went into the second door and saw that it wasn't a place that I could hide. So I grabbed the stuff and then ran into the last room and tripped, of course, because I was hoping I could get out.
Nar and Gassy, did you see anything like that upstairs?
Oh, yeah, I saw the monkey with the piercings. Jack
Yeah,
took
we,
care of
we
him.
killed him.
Oh, thank God, she said.
But we're looking for something that the cleric was carrying or supposed to be carrying. Did Did you notice anything like that? Did he give you anything to take with you to hide?
Sort of looks at you and she said, well, he had a satchel with him and his mace. He didn't hand me anything necessarily. He just kept saying that St. Cuthbert would protect them, and he had sent for help. We just needed to sort of try to protect ourselves. Obviously, that was for naught.
Lee, you want to help me? Actually, Jack, you want to help? Let's take this body and put it in the cold room. We'll take it back to Cauldron with us when we go. But I think we need to check to see if we can find what room he was staying in and check his things, see if he had stashed the wand somewhere in his room.
Jack will take him and put him next to that little box.
Okay,
Close
that
the
sounds
door.
good. All right, sounds good. Yeah, Lee, as you look down the well, you see that this is probably the water source for the inn itself. So you take the kind of the wood off the top, and you see there's a string with a bucket that goes all the way down into the bottom of the well. You don't see anything that looks like anything sitting on top of the water. Obviously, just a couple feet past the surface of the water, you're not able to see just due to the darkness of the water that as it goes down.
Is the bucket up here or down in the water?
It's down in the water.
I'm going to pull the bucket up.
Okay, so you kind of bring the bucket up, and as you do, you see that the bucket is sort of glistening with a liquid on it. It looks like a clear sort of liquid that's inside there. And as you bring it up and touch sort of that wet part of the rope, you feel that it's cool. It's not cold like the room is, but it's definitely cool. Probably, I don't know, probably, half the temperature between freezing and not, and it feels sort of refreshing as you bring it up.
Anything in the bucket except water?
Nope, just water.
Okay, I dropped the bucket.
Alrighty, the bucket drops down. You hear splash as you drop it in there.
What do you think, Jester? You think we should go try to find his room, see if the wands are up there?
Yeah, maybe we can find the register or something and see if it has his room number on there.
Oh, that's a good call. So, Shinson, do you know how many people? I know you got here like after the battle had started, but do you know how many people were actually staying here at the time?
No idea. She said, I think that from the looks of it, it looked like this was maybe a slow night. I didn't see anybody else sort of battling in the bar area there, except for the proprietor and his wife and this cleric. I honestly don't know. I only really saw the bar and the kitchen, and after that, down here into the basement, I have no idea what the rest of the building looks like. I've stayed here before, of course, but I don't know what it's currently looking like after the attacks. The way does work. Oh, that is super cool. Okay. I was reading the tips, right? Whoops, I don't know. So I can move you without exposing the map. I only did it with a couple of you, but that's awesome. Right.
Yeah, there's some way that you can grab the whole group and move them as a group too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I could have, you're right.
I just remember seeing that as a tip when I was loading in this time.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yes.
switch internet deals and it dropped me out. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, no worries. So as you come upstairs, you guys can see obviously the kitchen's the way it is, and maybe we'll just wait for him to come back.
Was there anything of interest in here? I'll take a
Just
quick look
coins.
around.
I think there was a bunch of coins that were laying on the floor, and a table that was there as well. So I couldn't remember if you all had picked up the coins or not.
No, we
I think
hadn't.
we were
Oh,
rushing.
yeah. So as you kind of search through, though, you do see small thing that I forgot to tell you because I didn't read it. Well, because you guys are moving through, you do see the a grisly trophy of a head of a human, sort of stuck to the side of the wall as a trophy, which would have been right over the fireplace.
Oh, sweet.
Kind of dark blood sort of dripping out of the base of that head.
Yeah, I think we might have noticed that.
Did you? Okay, I couldn't remember if you
No,
did
no,
or
no.
not.
I don't know if we were told about it, but I think we might
Yeah.
have noticed.
Oh, yeah, you would have noticed. I agree 100%. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you that. So you do see that head that's sort of there and just kind of hanging there, sort of hair tied up on the wall with the blood dripping on the fireplace. Or did
I think
have
we
blood.
should put that in the cold room too.
Considering this is the only severed head we've come across, it might go with the body down there in the freezer.
I bring a sewing kit.
Just press the digitation.
Yeah.
I will.
yeah, there you go. I'll just say.
Wait,
probably
wait.
just freeze in
Does
place.
anyone have mending?
Yeah, there you go.
I do not.
That one would be good too, actually. What was that, Nar?
I rolled perception.
Oh, okay, got it.
I'll mage hand the head down.
Okay, sounds good. So Nar, you were looking for the book or whatnot, right? So as you do see that there is actually a sort of a register of sorts that's there, and you see that in it you can go back several weeks, and you do see various names and things of people, and you do see that Sacrum did sign in as coming here. You see that it was listed as probably yesterday or the day before. And as you see, there was other guests that were listed to be there, but unfortunately you haven't found any of their bodies necessarily.
Is this Drow? Is her name in there?
It is not.
I'm gonna look through the list and see if I recognize any of the other names.
Yeah, as you kind of go through the names, you kind of page through and see, and you do see some names that you maybe have seen through your travels. People that have traveled through here when you were here before, kind of the regulars and things like that, and but not any names that I don't know if you're looking for like a specific person or whatnot.
No, just seeing if there's anything that sticks out, anything I heard in the past.
Yeah.
I'll pick up all the coins on the table.
Alrighty. So you kind of pick up the stuff on the table, and as you do, you're kind of collecting it and whatnot. Lee.
Yo.
So
I
as
wonder
you
what the hell was happening there.
as you were kind of rummaging around upstairs, going through the hallways and whatnot, you open up the door there that you're looking into, and you see this room looks like kind of an office, lounge, bedroom that's sort of all together. And as you do, you see that the room has sort of been kind of torn apart of sorts, and you see that there is 3 people in the room, and as soon as you open up the door, they immediately turn and look at you, and you see they're sort of ranshackling the room.
See, this is why I don't open fucking doors.
And they kind of look at you there, and what would you like to do?
Do they look like the people we fought downstairs?
They do, matter of fact. 3 of them have red sashes over their neck.
Oh, my bad. Wrong room. I'm going to step back out into the hallway and shut the door.
Alrighty, gotcha. So as you step back out and shut the door, you immediately hear one of them say, "Let's get him!"
And then I'm going to move as quickly as I can.
Alright, roll for initiative. Let's see what you get to see if you can move before they move with you. Oh, Lee.
Excellent roll for me, right?
Excellent roll. You did a
They
great
roll
job.
like ones.
Not really.
Are we all rolling it or just?
Oh, just Nar.
Or not Nar, Lee.
Or sorry, Lee, not Nar. Apologize.
No. Nar would be fine.
So as that happens, you see the door opens, and you see the alabaster sort of standing right there, and she's got her kind of rapier out, and she sees you. What would you like to do, Lee?
I will disengage.
All right.
Head down the stairs.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'll bring you back onto the other map.
And you're being completely quiet this whole time.
Oh no! Just give me a chance here, buddy. Okay.
All right, Lee.
I
So
gotta
that's
find
that was 10 feet on the ground map. So you have whatever's left.
I gotta find me on this map.
You're in the top, kind of the top middle.
That map has gone blank for me.
Just move your token north or south.
I don't see a token. Nope, don't see a token at all. I think I've zoomed out as far as I can.
Don't zoom out too far, because you'll zoom out way far. So do you see the? Do you have like a square with a bunch of arrows in it on the far corner?
Nope.
Top right corner. On the toolbar. Does anybody have that or no?
I put a big circle on the map and I don't even see it. Sorry, folks.
That's weird.
You want to
The
drag
funny
one
thing
of us?
is I can see Eris.
I can see you too, because there's windows between us.
Yeah.
You want to grab one of us and put us over there and see if that makes a difference?
That help, Lee?
I see him.
Nope, I still don't see anything. Top right, I'm trying to go up to the top right. I can't tell if the map's moving or not because it's all black.
You remember the stairs by the kitchen?
I don't think you can see any of the map.
I can't see any of it. It's solid black.
You think you'd be able to see me now?
There a do any of you have any buttons on the top toolbar?
Can you reshare the map with me?
There's a zoom to fit.
Yeah, that button.
Yeah,
Do you have?
I just clicked on it.
Do you have those, Lee? The zoom to fit
I
button.
closed it down. Sorry. Now I can see me.
Right. All right. Good.
So that was 10 feet of movement, correct?
Yep.
I can see Gassy there. Guys, we got company upstairs, probably coming down this way.
Okay, well, get yourself away from the bottom of the stairs, Lee.
I'm trying, but the map keeps moving on me. I literally can't move my character now.
Do arrows if you want to. Do you have arrow keys? You can move arrows. We'll move through the map.
Okay, I got it now.
Okay.
I'll go to the bottom of the stairs.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and roll for initiative for me there, Gassy? Just so I can see where you are on theirs. I'm sure you're going to be higher than them. Yep. Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, you're able to move to that spot. So you kind of move to the bottom of the steps that are there.
Yeah.
All right, as you're standing there, you see one of the alley bashers kind of comes, and she has a rapier there. And as she peers down the steps, she goes, "Oh, there's more!" As she turns around and yells back. And she immediately sort of closes the gap. And let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, okay, gotcha. So she's able to get there and still attack. The Gassy, she goes ahead and takes a swing with her rapier. Jeez, Cassie. And she hits.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. This is Cassie's lot in life. No matter how high your AC, you're still going to get hit, right?
Yep.
So the second one hits you as well. Or misses you,
No,
I'm sorry.
that one misses.
Yeah, that one missed. And you immediately see one of them is kind of at the top of the steps, and he disappears as that happens. So. All right. So for the ones in the bar, you guys are kind of searching the paperwork there, and Nar, you're kind of looking through, and you see the names, and as you page back, you notice this register is really big, and you're able to page back about 8 months or so, and you see your name is right there, your signature.
Oh, look at this one, Jack. This one's gonna be worth some money.
And you see, and so you see that book's there. Or as you kind of come out and see the two of them sort of searching. Mind you, remember that this room is full of bodies, right? I mean, you guys had a big fight here, but you see they're just casually searching through a book.
Hey, Eris, look at this penmanship. See, look at this. This is like the sign of a pure celebrity.
Oh yeah, I'm taking that with me. I'm gonna auction it off once you get famous.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, here you go.
I'll tuck it in my backpack.
All right, sounds good. So you guys are kind of out there talking and whatnot. Just then, you see Gassy, the another one of those alley bashers, sort of comes from the top of the steps there, and as she sees you down there, she immediately drops her rapier and kind of grabs that bow and sort of takes a shot at you. It said it was -2 for shooting through people, if I remember correctly. Drop on the map for some odd reason. Maybe because they started on a separate level. So she misses with the arrow. Perfect. Thanks, Lee. I couldn't remember exactly off the top of my head. All right, Lee. So you're in the room there. You see Shensen is kind of standing there, and she's like, "I don't have anything left. I'm spent. Like, I'll get the others if you want."
Excellent plan.
And she starts kind of moving through. And you hear doors opening and whatnot.
I will pull out an acid arrow and shoot her.
Okay. That's a hit.
I don't know if that other one did it. No.
Does that knock her back?
Yeah, it will knock her back 5 feet. For some reason, the acid damage isn't happening on her.
Okay. You just want to roll a die and we'll add it on.
Okay, if I drop it on the combat tracker, it's working.
Got it.
And she succeeds, so she doesn't have the other effects. but it
Okay.
does knock her back 5 feet.
Okay, sounds good. Stumbles up the steps, I guess.
And yeah, I'm good where I'm at. I'm done. Oh wait,
Alright.
no, I'm not. Take a 5-foot step that way,
Okay.
and a bonus action. You're on the low ground, so take her feet out from underneath of her, and I'll try and give Gassy advantage versus her.
Okay. Okay. For the rest of the group, I'll have you all roll for initiative just so that I have it. So Nar, Eris, and Jack Blaris, so we at least have the rolls. All right, Gassy.
I was really hoping that I had my action surge still available because I was going to put a second arrow through the window towards Jack over there.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna just attack her from there.
All right, sounds good.
Whoops. Well, it was the same both times for some reason.
Huh. All right, cool. That's it.
And I'll swing again. That's my last time with that.
Okay. All right.
Keeps going twice. Oh well, I missed that time.
I think you got yourself targeted, actually. I think that's why.
Ah.
Or you did, I think. But, all right, so you swing with the second and it misses?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Eris. Is it working for you?
I guess I already did my turn for Nar. Huh?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I forgot that you guys are now on the combat tracker. I was like, why is it not working? So I just have you up there in case something occurs. So, all right. So 13 kind of disengages from you, Gassy, and you see she kind of runs past her friend, and as she does, she immediately turns to the right, and sort of disappears as she runs by. And you hear her say to her friend, she's like, this isn't working. Then Nar, you see kind of out of the corner of your eye there, you see one of these somebody comes running down the steps, and as they do, they start moving towards this this door over here. And they kind of look around, they see all the bodies everywhere, and they sort of stop, and they turn back and look, and they see you, and he sort of just waves.
Pardon me.
Hello.
I don't see your name in this book. We may have a problem.
He's like, oh, I think I'm on page 34.
I just tore 34 out. You're not on there.
Oh, okay.
How about you come sit down over here? Let's have a chat.
Sure. Takes the last few remaining steps towards you.
Does Jack see that alley basher? I rolled a perception.
Oh, the one. No, she's sorry. She's upstairs. Actually, I apologize.
Oh, she's upstairs. Okay.
Yeah. I just couldn't find a place to get rid of her on the map.
All right.
Eris. So you see this hill folk, and I think you're at the door there. I think.
Yeah, I had actually moved over more towards Jack because I was looking at the book with him.
Alrighty.
So I couldn't actually see what's going on over in the kitchen though. Where'd that guy go? Oh, there he is. If I'm there, do I hear anything over in the other?
Oh, how about a perception roll? Yeah, you hear some yelling and whatnot coming from the other end. It sounds like Lee's yelling at something at Gassy.
Nar, you got this? Gonna question our friend here?
Oh yeah, me and Jack can handle this.
Alright, I'll go see what's going on the other side. There's no telling what they've gotten into.
It's probably some hot. Gassy doesn't like that spicy stuff.
That's true. I'm having a tough time with the map tonight.
You know what? I am too. But I'm not alone. Let me do this. So hang on one second before you move any farther. I am going... Glad you said that, because I also am having problems. I don't know why. So I'm going to clear the map for a second. Nobody... Can you guys see the map anymore or no?
The
Nope.
map disappeared.
Okay, good. Gonna reset things here because I'm having issues too.
It was hard to select my token tonight for some reason.
Yep, mine as well.
I'm not even drinking, so that's not the problem.
I'm just sort of putting your tokens back where they were before. There, Jack, you're there. The map opens. I'll have you all just kind of wiggle your tokens back. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Wiggle your tokens 5 feet one way or the other, and let's see. Does that better? Everybody else can see map and everything. It's
Yep,
your
seems
line
to
of
be
sight's
better.
gonna be different.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know what happened there. It was weird. I was having the same issue. I thought it was just on my end. So, alrighty, I'll lock those tokens back. Okay, and Eris, I think it's your turn. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Maybe between sessions I just have to redrop your tokens back down or something. Okay.
I wonder if that had anything to do with starting combat on a different map.
Maybe.
Right,
have
that's
it.
30
could be.
feet, but I'll continue on just
Okay.
to get in the doorway.
Alrighty. Are you going the full all the way?
Yeah, I'll step in the door.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I forgot. I have to do it for you to be able to see what's going on.
So that's 20 foot. Hey guys, what's going on? I heard you yelling. And that's my entire movement.
Gotcha.
There's more of those guys upstairs.
Yeah, so you see that Alley Basher at the top of the steps there reaches down and picks up her rapier, and you see she immediately runs to the right as well. And disappears.
Is there a door at the top of those stairs to that?
There's a door that...
To that plus 16 or whatever it is that goes across?
Yep, there is. There's a door that's there that's... you can see that is open. That goes kind of to the south, and then you see there's an opening to the west up there as well.
Yeah. It's my turn?
It is Lee's turn.
So I heard
They ran away, Lee.
I'll move directly in front of Gassy. Do I see anything up the stairs?
You do not.
Alright, I got you covered, Gassy, in case they come up, back up to the top of the stairs while you're moving up. And I'll ready an action to shoot an arrow up there.
Okay.
I run up to the top of the stairs.
Alrighty. So, Gassy, as you run up towards the top of those steps, all right. So, Lee, how high up to the steps do you go?
About right there. Looks like halfway mark on the stairs or something.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. And Gassy, you go all the way up to the top. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get multi-level combat. Okay. Someday. Here we go, Gassy. My only request. Do you see a map there, or it's all probably black for you?
Yep.
All right. Can you move your token?
Looks like it. I'm still locked.
All right. Gotcha.
So I have about 10 feet more movement, I think. So I'll take my extra 10 feet. And I don't see them, eh?
No, you don't see them right now. I gotcha. I know it cleared out. You don't see them up there.
I don't even see the hallway.
You do. You see the hallway.
It is.
So, Gassy, as you look, there's a hallway to the south that goes across, well, it's a bridge about 15, 25 feet, and you see that the door on the opposite side is open, and you see that it leads to what looks like a small alcove, and the stairs go down to the east about 20 feet across. You expect that's probably where they come into the bar. On the top level, you see that there's a hallway that goes about 20 feet to the west, and there's a door to the north that's open, and there's a room that's ransacked, but you don't see them anywhere along there. And as you move along that map, you don't see any signs of anybody up there. If you move down the hall and kind of follow, you see that the hall sort of turns.
Yeah, I can't move my token now.
I know. It's broken. Gassy. You see your token now, Gassy.
Yeah. I'll check out that room there and see if they ran in there.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you peek in, you do not see him inside that room.
And that's as far as I can go if we're still in combat.
Yeah. Yep, we are. Yeah, if you can just keep your movement to combat movements, that'd be great for everybody.
Okay.
Just count out your tokens, your spaces. Okay, that was Gassy. Jack Brass would be next. Sorry, Jack.
That was my fault.
That was mine.
Does he have a table he rolls his malfunctions on?
He does.
Can I get his table? If it's a problem, or if it's hidden, don't worry about it. But
Nope.
I want to re-roll it.
See that table?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, see, that's broken. It's not supposed to roll so everybody can see it, but everybody can. So there you go. So his arm blade would come in and out for 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Here, put these manacles on, hill folk guy. I'll try not to cut him as I hold the things out with my arm blade coming in and out.
All right. So you sort of hold out the manacles, and he's like sort of like standing back as this thing's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Does he let Jack put the manacles on?
He's like, nope, not gonna do it. And you see he sort of like starts to slide back. If you want to try to grapple him, you could.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll try.
All right,
Is
gotcha.
that a strength check, I think?
Athletics. Against his athletics or acrobatics.
You're gonna try to grapple him with his malfunctioning arm blade.
Exactly.
Why am I not in there to watch this?
That's exactly why I ask. All right. All right. And well, I mean, if Jack's going to do that, then he probably needs a dexterity saving throw to make sure that he doesn't cut them all up, right? Or
Yeah, that
accidentally
makes
hit
sense.
him. Yeah, I think so too. And I'll find his thing here.
Oh, it's a shame it's not his hammer coming in and out like that. He could just pummel him like in the cartoons.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, he definitely is able to grapple him. Let's just see how. I'm gonna have Jack do. I'll have him do a dexterity save. That's fine. Or if you want Jack to, you can.
I can do a dexterity save.
Yeah, let's have Jack do it. I agree. Let's see how dexterous Jack is trying not to hit him. Oh yeah, look at Jack, man. He works around it. He's used to it malfunctioning, and he's able to lock in those manacles.
You stay with me.
Like, okay. Like Nar to do.
Nar is gonna come around on the backside here. He's gonna search him.
Okay. All right. So as Nar searches him, he finds that obviously he has a mace and a crossbow and several bolts. And you see that he has what looks like sort of some jewelry. It doesn't look to be very nice, and he has a sort of a kind of a book of sorts, if you want to think of it like a kind of like a little journal or whatnot that's in his pocket there as you take it out.
I'm gonna, as a bonus action, I'm gonna put my, I'm gonna look at him with my hood on and scare him.
Oh, okay. You even got music now, huh? All right. So you pull your hood up and do the scare, and he fails. You even hit him with it. That's awesome. I like it. So he's like scared, and again, my go-to. There's a nice puddle there underneath his feet as he pees all over the place. As that happens, you see that Shensen comes around the corner and she sees you and she goes, there's a problem over there.
Oh, I've got it all controlled. I apprehended him. See? Jack's all proud as his arm's going in and out.
Yeah. She's like, interesting technique. All right. And Eris.
Jester, there's problems over here.
I got it. I caught him. Had a crossbow and everything.
Which way did they go, Lee?
Up the stairs.
That's 25, and I'll go my full 30.
Oh no. Okay. I got you. I'll move you. Oh no.
Greg, if it makes it easier, I'll be moving up on my turn, so you can just put me up there at the same time as her, if it helps.
Thank you. All right. Eris, you're up at the top of this map. You guys see that map?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my 30 feet.
They went that way,
Which way?
down the hall, around the corner. I haven't seen them since I got up here.
Where you are or down south? I'll keep going this way.
Okay.
That way.
Sounds good.
Oh, she went across the bridge.
Yeah, so she goes
Of
running
course.
across.
Well, you said down, so to me that was the direction. That's my movement. I'll stay
All
there.
right, gotcha. Remember that courtyard is pretty much torched to oblivion, right?
Right.
Right. There's even like cooked monkey in there. Okay.
A lot of burnt hair.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Lee.
They didn't go across the bridge, Lee.
Okay. Is there a door in this corner right here? No, I guess not. I don't see one.
Yeah, that stretch there was a little hard. Are you able to continue to move forward or no? When I was coding it, it was difficult to do. Oh, you can. Okay, good. Perfect. I tried to manipulate it so you were able to do so. You can see, I can sort of see just a little bit into the room, just to the west of that corridor there. But all right, cool. Those stairs go down. What were
I
you
don't
going to
see
say?
anything down that way or down the hallway that I can see, so I will ready in action to shoot an arrow if I see an enemy pop up anywhere.
Alrighty, sounds good.
They must have gone back down those stairs, Lee.
Or into one of the rooms we can't see or on around the corner.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a lot of running to do that. Well, I guess they might have made it. I'll double move to the far corner.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's it for me.
Alrighty. Now remember, this is kind of the area. Oh, yeah, you're not quite to the area yet. Sorry. You recognize that outside the window there, Gassy, that's the...
that's where we came in, isn't it?
That's where you came in. Yep, that's where you climbed up.
I don't see them outside the window, do they? Do I?
No, you don't.
Okay. I don't see them, Lee.
Well, we'll just have to check the rooms until we can track them down.
Where did you find them?
In that first room back there at the top of the steps.
All right, Jack. So you're down there. You got the malfunctioning hammer, and you see the guy immediately sort of turns and almost like runs into your chest, or kind of turns towards you, like all scared and everything, Jack.
You stay here. I'm gonna go see if there's more.
Jakes has said no.
That's 5. Count this 15. I'm gonna double move.
Okay.
Jack's kind of keeping an eye out to see if any more are coming around.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So Jack looks up and he can see up the stairway there, and he sees a window at the far end. All right, Juster.
This guy's frightened of me, so I'm gonna intimidate him and question him as far as
Did you say
knows.
grenade? Oh, interrogate him. I thought you said grenade him.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
Oh, no.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, I only got 5 of those left.
All right. Okay. All right.
So since he's frightened, do I get like a +2 for trying to intimidate him?
Well, I'll give you advantage to try to intimidate him.
Oh, well. Trying to show off a little bit in front of Simpson.
Oh, gotcha.
It's my mask cloak. I'm Batman, and I'm gonna try and question him if I intimidate him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, I rolled the wrong roll. That's good. All right, let's see. Oh, he already actually had disadvantage. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. So there you go. It doesn't matter. So yeah, you're able to intimidate him.
How many are with you? What are you looking for? What are you doing here?
Just don't hurt me. There's 3. There's me and my friends, and we're just looking for loot.
What are the other 3's names? Or what are the other 2's names?
Names for them.
Call
Tarush and Iswin.
Call out to him and tell him that you've captured us.
Goes, Tarush and Islam, I've captured them. Not very convincing.
All right.
All right. So, Agassi, as you're kind of standing up there, you suddenly see 2 of them are outside, and you see them running from the building. And you see they immediately start running to the west down the road. Harris.
I'm gonna keep moving on.
Alrighty, so you're gonna go back down the steps. Ready.
Yep,
So...
because I didn't explore this upstairs. I don't know where anything goes.
Yeah, it's true. Plus the map, the lighting leaves. But you're right. I don't think you were you up there at all? Just briefly, right?
No.
No, not at all. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, just when we came straight down.
Through the window. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, you did, yeah. And Eris, I think you did just the hallway, right? The one hallway, but you didn't search any rooms or anything up there, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Gassy, you see they're on the first floor, kind of the area that you can see where you guys entered in. You saw them kind of run out to the road, and you see the 2 of them running down the road. Just briefly, because it's dark out. So, you know, obviously there's some light that's there, and you can see them kind of running, and then they sort of disappear into the shadows.
Okay, well, they're really moving.
Yeah, they're speedy.
And yell at Lee and tell him that I saw them down there, running down the road. I don't think I can catch them.
Sorry, I shut the map down.
That's all right. Yeah.
Hey, Jack.
I'm pretty sure I can't catch them either.
So, did you guys see anything come down here?
Yeah, we got one over here. As my arm's going in and out.
I'll step
I'm
around.
Like holding off to the side.
I'll step around, Jack.
Alrighty. Sounds good. So you see one of them is sort of like crying and cowering out there. So, all right, Lee.
I'm going to step down here and open this door.
Okay.
Give a quick glance inside.
Yeah, so as you open up the door and take a look, you see this is a sort of a private bath. There's a large tub that's there, and there's a bunch of towels and soaps and candles and things like that. It appears that this seems like a higher class bath that you see, and you have now recognized that the people in Greyhawk like to take baths.
I got a bunch of doors over here. Can I open more than one door in a turn?
I don't know the answer for that, but we can kind of come out of combat because the two that are fighting are gone. So if you guys want to continue to explore up there, you can.
I do. I want to search every room.
Alrighty, sounds good. These are just very extravagant sort of guest rooms that you go into. You see that they're sort of trashed as you're walking through. For the ones downstairs, and Gassy, I know you're up there as well, but you guys see that this one, again, Eris, you see there's a small puddle under this person's feet, and seems to be quivering in fear as Jester sort of stands over them.
I'll slide across the bar, take a seat.
Alrighty, sounds good.
And I'll use prestidigitation on him because that's disgusting.
Sounds good.
So, buddy, did you tell my friend here everything he needs to know?
Yes, please just let me go. You can have all my baubles. Sort of like empties out his pockets as you see all this random stuff, little costume jewelry and stuff sort of falls down on the ground.
What are you doing here? What are you looking for?
I just joined the group a few weeks ago. They told me to come raid and have fun, and I could keep all the loot I found. I'm not really looking for anything. Just let me go.
Why did the group come here?
I don't know. I have a wife and kids. I'm just trying to feed them.
Friend, you need to rethink your life.
I see that now. Please don't scare me, big bad man.
Oh, he'll do more than scare you if you don't answer his questions truthfully.
Answering them truthfully, I got nothing else to hide. I just want to go home to my kids.
What are you looking for?
Really something I can sell at Cauldron at the Flood Festival. I was hoping to go up there this week.
Oh, make sure you stop by the Slippery Eel Inn on Thursday. 2 for 1 drink night.
Yeah, he sees the quick change in the demeanor. He doesn't know what to think of it. He's like waiting for Jekyll and Hyde to happen again. He's like sort of waiting for you to sort of scare him again. He's like,
I do a really good improv joke session.
Looks over there. Is he serious?
Are you questioning his integrity?
No.
I motioned Jack over.
What are you still doing here? We've killed everybody else.
He looks around. He sees all the he's like, nothing. I'm ready to go. I've turned my ways. I will follow in the eyes of Lathander. And he sort of stands up proud.
St. Cuthbert. And all these other ones here I questioned before you, and none of them satisfied my answers, that I wanted. Just throwing that out there.
Goes,
that's dark, Nar.
Kind of takes a big swallow, gulp. Okay.
So who's your leader?
There's he kind of points over on the floor, and you see one of the dead hill folk over there. That was my leader. Not anymore. I'm turning a new leaf.
Where'd they recruit you from? Where's your base?
I don't have a base. I have a family. We live up the road. We have a small settlement just outside of the jungle area there. Um,
I'll go check the body of the guy he pointed out.
okay, gotcha.
All right. Well, draw it on this registry here where you live. Because if you ever do anything wrong again, I'm coming for you.
All right, you see he quickly sort of starts drawing, and as he does, you see he's got a very nice artistic ability, right? And he draws out a really nice sort of map and whatnot, and almost gets lost, and he starts shading things in, and it's kind of got sort of an isometric view to it, and he kind of draws in the mountains, and he sort of draws a little bit of a like a small little dinosaur there, and he has a cow over here, and he's just kind of working, and you see sort of tips the pencil over on the side or where the writing utensil and sort of shades it in, and is kind of giving it some nice shades of gray, and really sort of working on it. He's sort of lost in his work in his manacles.
Wow, you should be a cartographer. You know, so I've been working on my signature because I'm pretty famous. And do you think I should curl my J like this or like this?
I think you should do whatever you want, sir. Your
All right.
your penmanship is beautiful. Best penmanship I've ever seen. Way better than anything I write.
Well,
So
I,
is
I
there?
think we need a new logo, don't you think, Nar?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Nar and the Aquanauts.
He's like, okay, and he starts like writing out some signatures, and you see nice calligraphy and everything, and he's like, do you want me to draw pictures?
Yeah, yeah. I'm Nar.
All right. So you see, he writes Nar, and Eris, you look over, and he draws this most horrific, grotesque, demon-like picture underneath a cloak, and it's kind of all like there, and he goes, is that okay? Please don't kill me.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you know where the hideout's at or where you met these guys? Where'd you meet these guys?
They came to my house and told me I could get lots of money to feed my children for the winter. I really just kind of joined up with them, and I'm sort of brand new to all of this, and I see this is not the life for me.
How many kids you got?
Uh, well, I have 8.
There's meat down in the freezer, but just leave the headless guy there. He's actually got his head back, but we haven't sewed it back on yet. So if you
Uh,
want some meat, you can get some meat.
I think I just maybe want to, you know, I just want to go home.
All right, all right. Take the manacles off, Jack. I think we're done with this one.
All right. So for the guys upstairs that have thoroughly explored the entire second floor,
These are the nicest rooms down at this end, eh?
yes, they are actually. I'm impressed you've noticed that. So yeah, the other rooms were sort of solitary rooms. Matter of fact, if you guys remember, there was one that was Nar's room. I think he even carved it in the desk. It said Nar was here, I think. But and then there was sort of the common bunks that were kind of in the bottom right. But yeah, this room right here is the room that looks the nicest out of all of them. It looks like an office and a lounge that's there, and then the rest of them were like single sort of like extravagant suites that were there. As you can see, each one has sort of a fireplace and a bed and a table and stuff. Um,
I'm changing my signature since I carved that in there to a different J, so that's an original one.
all right, gotcha. And then, do you let that guy go, or
Yeah, I mean, he seems. Do I believe him? I'll do an insight.
all right, sounds good. And then Lee, you kind of search around, but you don't see anything up there.
Can we tell if, like, is there any evidence that which of these rooms has recently been occupied?
You mean by like somebody staying there?
Yeah.
It's hard to say because it looks like they've really sort of ransacked a lot of the rooms themselves. So it's tough to say. You don't see any rooms that have like clothing in them or any sort of like travel sacks or anything like that. But you're not sure if they've been ransacked or if they moved them someplace else or whatnot. It's hard to say.
I
Do
can't
you,
find anything up here.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we believe
You're
him?
better at that hunting for stuff than I am.
Yeah, you do, Nar. I tried to drag it to you, but it didn't drag over for some reason.
Okay, we'll let him go.
I already gotcha. So he quickly starts to run with the manacles on his hands, and he kind of runs immediately, like past the bar, and you see he sort of trips over a body and sort of stumbles down and tries to get back up.
Let's take those manacles off, Jack. Take those off.
And he still keeps running actually for about 10, 15 feet, and then once you're out of view, then he sort of stops. Jack, you see, stops and puts his arms up. Okay, you guys are heading downstairs? Gotcha.
I'll take those off.
All right.
I'll check these bodies down here, see if I can find anything that would identify who these guys are and if there's like any kind of leader or anything like that.
But yeah, it sounds good. You guys should be on the bottom map by now, so.
Thanks for the help in searching upstairs.
Get it? You click that zoom button and it shows you on the map. That's neat.
That little button at the top left?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Eris, as you kind of search the bodies and whatnot, you see, again, they all have sort of this red sash, right, that's there, that every single one of them are wearing. And you see that they don't necessarily have any paperwork or anything like that, but you do recognize a few of these people are actually citizens of Cauldron, and you've seen them sort of on the lower rings of Cauldron. So, people that, kind of are sort of the lower class, if you want to think of that. These seem to be, the alley bashers are the ones that's it. The hill folk are obviously from outside of Cauldron. They just have a sort of a different skin complexion and color to them, sort of a little bit more sort of a tannish type of skin color that's there, and their dress is different as well. You guys find arrows and short bow or bolts, and there's various short bows and rapiers and things like that, but nothing that's necessarily identifiable.
Would I know who would like which jurisdiction this would be in? Like who, like if there's any kind of like rangers or anything that would be responsible for this area?
Yes, you would. You would know it would be the Striders of Farlongen.
And that's what this drow said earlier, right?
It is. And you're right, Farlongen, if I remember correctly, is the gods of halflings, but remember, halflings are travelers and explorers, so that's why I believe that's why that falls under their god.
Gotcha.
And Nar, you would recognize, I think you guys had searched one of the rooms, but, oh, there's a little alley basher sitting there. But one of them has up towards the north, I believe you guys had all searched the room. There was like a little temple or chapel, if you want to call it, of sorts, that was up in the northern part of the map.
So, Nar, did you figure out what room the priest was in?
No. No, it's got his name here, but I don't think it has a room number. We may just have to search all the rooms upstairs.
Been there, done that.
There's nothing up there.
Did you find anything interesting at all?
I didn't. What about you, Lee?
Nope. Anything that was up there probably already been taken by these guys.
I wonder why they would be recruiting people out of Cauldron. I mean, these are our kind of people. Well, maybe not yours, Jester.
Hi, Bob over here has been in the Slippery Eel twice on Thursday, so yeah, my people.
Did I see any dwarves?
Did not. They were all humans.
I'm just going to look at Eris with a kind of funny look on my face.
if they were promised easy coin for little work, the people in the lower area of town would jump at that chance.
Did we search all the bodies around here?
I would have said that you probably had. Eris had asked if she could kind of search through them, so I would say that you were able to search the bodies that are there. As you guys search, you see Shensen is kind of sitting there, and she looks around and she says, I I, I'm just curious. Once we rest, are you planning on traveling back to Cauldron, or are you on your way to Sasserine or somewhere else on the road?
Oh, we're headed back to the cauldron. We were, as I said, called down here to help the priest.
If I
We'll be
may,
taking his body back tomorrow.
if I may, I'm not really in good condition to travel on my own. Could I travel with you in comfort and security? I promise to um, support any needs that you need, and I have my own food, but I need to get back to Cauldron as well. I have to report to Myrthen and about the attack here, and I just not comfortable traveling on my own.
Oh yeah, you can travel with us.
Thank you. She kind of walks around and sits down at one of the bar stools.
We'll lay
Well,
out
we
all
took
the
a long
evidence
rest.
on the bar here.
Oh, did I give you all a long rest? Hey, look at that.
Yeah, you did. All of a sudden, all my spell slots were clear.
What a guy, I tell you. What a great GM you have. He's such a nice guy. I give you all a long rest like that.
That's because we leveled.
Harris, I don't know if there's anything upstairs that's magical or not. I mean, you may want to walk through up there and see if you can find anything.
Yeah, I can do that before we get out of here.
Feel free to move around. I think you all searched the entire lower level, if I remember correctly, but we're looking for that door. I don't remember if you completely did. If there's any rooms there that you don't recognize or are curious about, I'll be happy to tell you about. But
Well, in his satchel, you said there were 4 blue gems,
Yep.
some empty potion bottles, and
Yep.
something that glows. I didn't catch what it was.
a ring?
Okay, did it detect as magic?
Yes.
Okay.
I put it in the party sheet.
I'll share it with Jester.
Okay.
This looks kind of magical. I don't know what it is.
Huh. Does it have a description? Let's see.
As you guys are kind of there, and you see Shensen sort of sitting at the bar, just kind of looking at all the carnage and everything like that, and she suddenly kind of looks and she says, I saw the hideous baboon in the hallway when I came through looking for you all, but please tell me, did you find a female human, bright red hair here, and then there was another one here, an elf of sorts, had blonde hair, and had an eye that was almost missing or grotesque. It was like it was dead.
I don't think so.
No, we didn't come across a couple that look like that.
They must be here someplace. They were here during the battle.
Which side were they on?
They weren't on ours, that's for sure. They seem to be, as the baboon was fighting us, they seem to be rifling through things inside the bar.
Like they were looking for something?
Yeah, they almost weren't. They weren't even really interested in the battle. They were just kind of searching through a whole bunch of stuff quickly.
Hmm.
Do you know where they were focused at? Like if they were in an office or just in general?
So she says, "Well, She kind of walks over this direction, and she says, "I came in through the entrance on the side, and when I did, I was over here. I came in here, and they were fighting. Right, they were battling kind of over to the south, over by kind of where Lee was. So I kind of went across the area near where Nar and pointed there, and she kind of I went over to the bar, and we were kind of fighting there. I kind of ran over there to help, and they were searching up by the stage area." And then I saw them kind of come down and search be past that curtain right where you're at, Eris, looking in there. But by then we had sort of retreated across into the back door and across the now destroyed courtyard and into the kitchen. All right, so Nar, you kind of search around there to see what's there.
What did these people look like again?
Well, one of them had it was there were two women. One was human and one was elven, and the human had a bright red hair that sort of draped down her shoulders. She was wearing this armor with sort of spikes coming out of the arms of it, almost like a plate. And she was kind of walking around. It had some symbols on it, but I couldn't really see them. And then there was a shorter elf that I saw, and she had blonde hair, and one of her eyes was disfigured like it had gotten burned or something.
Jack will kick out his ever bright light and he'll look around.
Okay, alrighty. So a big spotlight comes on, and you see it sort of going through the wall or through the room, and shining up every tiny little corner as he looks around, and Jack kind of searches, but Jack doesn't find anything, and Jack will be quick about it.
Will he be nimble though?
Thank you. Yeah, he'll even jump over that candlestick.
I'll check this room behind the curtain, like she said they were.
Yeah, so as you come into that room, you see that the table is there, and it's sort of been pushed against the wall, and you see there's various pieces of clothing laying on the floor, and the table is, yeah, not nice. Don't find anything of value in there.
Okay.
Did you hear any names from those people?
Didn't. During the heat of the battle, it was hard to hear noise. As you know, you are all seasoned fighters. I can see that. But two, that it seemed that there was like two groups, like the group that was fighting, and then these two women were searching frantically kind of throughout the building, methodically, but frantically looking for something. I wasn't sure what they were looking for. I didn't catch their names. Nobody had called out to them, and they hadn't called out to each other.
I guess me and Jack will go upstairs and look around.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So you guys are gonna take the time and move through all the rooms and search and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just a perception check. If you want to do advantage for whoever has the highest one, that's fine. If the two of you are gonna work together. How about for you, Gassy? What are you up to?
sec.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm just just wandering around waiting for everybody to gather so we can either head back to Cauldron or chase down the wands.
Okay, all right, I gotcha. So you kind of you see Shensen kind of comes over and sits down, and she says, "Please sit, my sturdy friend."
Okay. I'm not used to being talked to with such politeness from an elf, but especially one of your lean or bent.
Well, strange times indeed, and my life have changed where I've recognized that not everyone um, can be considered by their skin color or their heritage.
I agree.
It's interesting that you live in Cauldron. Not really a friendly place.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I can't go everywhere there. Just a few of the spots let me in.
Well,
I couldn't even go to the academy day, even when I had money to pay for it.
terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I feel that the people in Cauldron sometimes are as bad as some of the people in the lower depths of the earth where I come from. Just maybe if Cauldron's not your place, maybe you could join up with us. We take all.
You mean down there?
No, no, no. I live on the surface now.
And who is us?
The Striders of Farhallan. We protect the jungle. Sort of travel about, protect the roads and the travel. Obviously, the inn too. We helped build this inn, actually.
Oh, wasn't that who just destroyed it?
Oh no, not at all. And she looks almost distraught as you say that. She says, "No, we're here to protect it. These people, I don't know who these people are, but they destroyed this inn. Oh, Orlin is such a good keeper. Matter of fact, oh gosh, I need to bury his body." And she quickly kind of pushes the chair back and stands up, and you see that she immediately starts walking towards the
I'll help her with that task.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, you see that she continues to go out, and you even see she sort of says again another prayer there as she does. She picks up their body and brings it out, and even though the courtyard is burnt, she kind of looks and she says, "I think this would be the best place, don't you?" And she finds a spot between two burnt trees. She said, "Their soul will help make this courtyard grow back again."
Yes.
And as you guys are working, she kind of goes out to where the stables are, right? Kind of goes back outside, even though it's dark out, and she grabs a couple shovels and comes back and starts to dig what looks like some graves that are here for her. So as you're working on that, Gassy, Jack Brass and Nar, you guys go upstairs, and over the next hour or so, kind of completely search the upstairs, and you do not find anything either. As you search there, Eris, I saw you kind of moving through a lot of the various rooms and whatnot. Was there anything in particular that you were looking for, or just kind of searching as well?
I'm just searching. I was actually looking for the bedrooms. Again, I haven't like explored this entire place like everybody else.
Gotcha. Oh, all right, yeah. So feel free. You can explore as you need to. I think the map is pretty self-explanatory of what is in each room. But if you have a question, just ask. And those are sort of the servants' rooms that you see there, the people that work here. And then the regular rooms are on the upstairs, which I can drag up there if you need to go up there.
Is there an office area?
Great question. So there is on the second story. You see that the bedroom that Lee and Gassy, I know I was talking about earlier, was sort of a bedroom lounge type of, or a bedroom office, and that's the nicest one up there. And that looks like that was Oren's room, essentially.
Okay, that's right. And this was the library, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That is the library, which is empty. There's just papers scattered across the floor and everything. So after a period of time, Gassy, while they're exploring, you and Shensen are able to bury those bodies, and she sort of stands there and says, I don't know much about St. Cuthbert, but if you want, you're more than welcome to say a prayer. Otherwise, I'll be happy to pray to my God for their souls and to rebuild this place.
I stand. Have we filled them in, or are we not quite filled them
Yeah,
in yet?
I think it would be anywhere in that point, whatever you'd like,
Okay.
either before or after. So, yep.
I just do a lot of mumbling in Dwarvish.
Alrighty, gotcha. And she also mumbles in sort of Underdark as well. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. Jester and Jack Brass, as you guys come back down, you see that the room there's nobody really in here except for Lee, and he's sort of like plastered down on the table, and he's sort of snoring as he's sort of laying there on the table, completely knocked out. As you see that these guys both of them are out here, and of course Jack Brass walks over their grave, but pats down the dirt. You see there's some two fresh graves that are here. He goes, sorry, metal sir, could you those oh well, I guess the dirt is pushed. Okay, alrighty, thanks. And she just sort of nods to Jack.
Just packing them down.
I guess that'll keep the vermin away. Jensen looks to y'all. She says, "Are we leaving tonight?"
I think we should probably rest here and leave first light.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I'm gonna ask her if she saw some horses out by the stables. She went to get the shovels.
She said, "I did, but there's two missing." If you all rode in on horses.
We all did. Even
Oh.
Jack.
Wow, that's a big horse.
That was quite a powerful horse, yeah.
Yes, yes. Must be a war horse. Should we barricade ourselves in, or what should we do? An iron horse. Nice. Yeah, good call.
There is
Yeah,
a
probably-
bunk room upstairs that we could use.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess you want to all go up to that room?
Sounds good. Probably go to that one room and pull our rope up so they can't get in.
All right, sounds good. I think everybody's pretty much searched this entire map, right?
Yeah.
So everybody has the map and you can see what it looks like. Eris, did you search the upstairs at all, or did you have a chance to look around, or anybody else that wanted to move around and take a look and see all the rooms up there?
I'd like to see him.
All right, gotcha. I wasn't sure if I... All right,
What's
sounds
this
good.
wide open map stuff?
I know, right? Exactly. What's going on there? So I put Nar and Eris up top on the upper level there, if you want to. All right, and it sounds good, Lee. That way I can let you guys move around and kind of see what's up there and whatnot. So I have to work on this multi-level map stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the future, but this was very frustrating to me tonight. So
All on one map would probably be easiest.
yeah, my only concern is the line of sight. I'm not sure if it'll open up what's on layers above, right? So I got to test it to see, but hopefully that'll work. I'm suspicious that it'll keep the line of sight from below to the upstairs without allowing it, but we'll see. I'll test it out and see for sure. Hopefully that's not the case.
Oh, you mean that when we go from one level to the other, we'll still be able to see everything on the original level?
Yeah, so in theory, I know they're you guys are looking around real quick, but in theory, what you can do is, it's layers. It's just like a paint shop or GIMP, and so you can turn the layers on and off. So in theory, I could just stack the floors all on top of each other, right? Instead of having a large map as in width and height size, you just stack it all on there, and then you can just open it up as they go up and down. But the problem is, I'm just worried about. I'll probably just do it like the basement is on this, but it just gets to be a really big map. I mean, this map is huge as it is, if you remember it loading.
The downside to that, I think, Greg, is that aren't the character tokens on the same level?
Yep. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
It might be easier just to put them side by side on, spread them out.
Yeah, I'm just worried about image size, but like I said, this is a pretty big map, so hopefully we won't have too many more maps this big.
This freaking thing is huge.
I think that's everything that I looked up.
Did you get everywhere? All right, gotcha. Alrighty. So you all are going to be planning on sleeping up in the upper bunks, I had heard. Is that right?
Are we gonna sleep in the room with all of the bunks, or one of those nicer rooms?
Well, there's only one bed in most of the nicer rooms. I thought it'd be better if we were all together in one room. I don't know, just for security.
Yeah, see, I put you up on the upper level now. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Right.
I guess Jack will sleep against the door
Okay, all right, sounds good.
or rest against the door.
Where's Lee and Jensen?
Jensen comes up with you, and she kind of looks around. She says, "I think he's sleeping downstairs at the table."
Hey, Jester, if you don't want to wear that ring, um, somebody can.
What's it got on it? Let's see here.
It's got a shield.
Shield on. Oh, try it out if you don't mind.
No, I think that's great.
All right, so you know what that is. That's a ring of protection. Does take an attunement slot.
Okay. Yeah, I got one.
All right. So everybody's good where they're at?
Lee, you really staying downstairs? Because that door's not going to open once Jack props up against it.
Not ever gonna open. I think Jack was asleep downstairs. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I think that's good then.
Alrighty, sounds good. So I already gave you the long rest, so hopefully everybody has that there. As the night as you continue to sleep through the night, there's periods of times that you wake up, you hear sort of noises and whatnot. You're not really used to maybe sleeping here and being in the city. It seems more quiet than what you're typically used to, so it feels uncomfortable, like just a little weird, right? Just doesn't feel quite right throughout the night. Lee, do you pretty much sleep throughout the entire night?
If it's quiet like you just mentioned, I probably don't sleep well.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, so I'll probably wake up in the middle of the night.
Okay. Alrighty, gotcha. So yeah, you wake up and you see there's really nobody around. It's kind of dark, right? Because all the lights and things have been sort of extinguished. The fires that were there are smoldered down to pretty much nothing, and you can hear kind of the sound of yeah, yeah, crap. They finally left me, and you can hear the sound of the jungle outside. Quiet, but it's still there nonetheless. So.
Well, since I have no clue where everyone went,
Yeah.
I'll try and creep through the building as quietly as I can to see if I can find where they are. Start searching the first floor.
Okay, gotcha. So you spend some time and kind of move through the first floor. You know it pretty well at this point, so moving through isn't terrible. And as you kind of move through and whatnot, you search. You don't see anything on the first floor.
I'm looking for the rest of them to see if they're here or if they actually left.
Gotcha. And as you kind of search through, you don't see anybody on the first floor. You don't see any signs of, the doors still are closed and barricaded for the most part. You did find one window that was open in the ground level where the large table is on the far west, but you easily close the window there, so that's not a problem at all.
If I don't find them on the first floor, I'll go up and check the second floor.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So as you kind of go moving about and whatnot, you do see one of the doors is closed up on the second floor, and that's kind of in that southwest corner as you kind of move through the entire kind of second floor there. But otherwise, you see the rest of the doors are all open.
I'll try and pick the lock.
All right, so you kind of work the lock, and you feel that you're able to unlock it really quiet and deftly. Actually, it went really, really smooth for you.
Candygram for Mondo. Candygram for Mondo.
Jack, you would immediately hear that outside the door.
Jack will get up and open the door.
Alrighty, so you open it up and you see Lee sort of standing out there.
Candygram for Mungo. Candygram for Mungo.
Come on in, Jack. Or Lee. Shh, everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, you figure it's about.
Open the door to get in.
You figure it's probably about probably 5 or 6 hours into your long rest sleep that you're here. Hear everybody else snoring and whatnot. All right, so you hop into bed. All right, perfect. So as everybody goes back to sleep and Jack's up against the door there, you start to is kind of sleeping in all of you, everybody that's here starts to have and as you guys are kind of sleeping back kind of fitfully and whatnot, you start to see that you are all sort of far above the world looking down, and you see this huge almost map in complete detail. You see a large mountain range that kind of goes from north to south. There's jungles on both sides. You see clouds slowly sort of moving across this picture. And as you kind of focus down, you see there's this crater of sorts in the middle of the mountain. And it takes some time, but you recognize this is the crater of the city of Cauldron. And you sort of start to drift down, and you get closer and closer. And you still see that you kind of get down, come through the clouds, and you can see the formation of the buildings, and you can see the road heading off to Sassarine, and you just continue to float down, get through the clouds, and now you can see there's shops and wagons in the street, and you see the bustling, thriving city below you. And you're so far up in the air, nobody seems to look up at you. You can see people moving about and whatnot, and you see there's thousands and thousands of people that are lining the street, and Obviously, they seem to be celebrating something. You sort of stare off in wonder and fascination at the people below, and it dawns on you, you know what they're celebrating. This is the Flood Festival, right? And it looks like it's just started, and you see this, this street race going by, and people running, and you see this people swimming out in the lake, and various stands and whatnot, and the inns are bustling with patrons, and the wagons are filled with goods, and there's all kinds of stuff that are lined out on the streets. As you continue to sort of kind of float above, you start to celebrate, right? You're cheering and smiling and laughing at jokes that you can hear sort of reverberating up into the sky of these voices that sort of echo through, and you're still high up in the air, like looking down, and you have this sense of peace and happiness, and it just fills you. There's a desire that you want to be part of the celebration, right? So you start to drift closer and closer to the city, and you begin to notice that there's this dark shadow starts spreading over the city. Starts slowly, but it gradually begins to fill the entire city with a deep, deep darkness. Your mouth instantly fills with water, and you can feel it. You begin to choke. You're almost drowning. You cough, and you're attempting to clear the water from your lungs, but you're unable to do so. Your vision begins to blur as you slowly see yourself rapidly sinking into some water, and you recognize you're drowning. And you don't understand why, and it's this feeling of, I got to get to the surface, and I can't breathe, and you're choking, and you're like, this is it, and things start to get dark, and then all of a sudden, suddenly, for whatever reason, you don't need to breathe. It's strange, but you feel this feeling like, I don't have to breathe like all the other people do, and you're not sure what happened. And as the water sort of spills out of your breathless mouth, you gaze upon the city again, and you see the celebration has turned into complete terror. The citizens of Cauldron are fleeing in horror, and the shadow descends upon them. And then you think to look outward past the city as you look over the rim of the castle walls, and your gaze reaches the horizon, and you see that there's something out there, something blocking your view. You would expect to be able to see the mountains and the trees, but you can't. And then you realize there's this huge, vast wall of water that has stretched thousands of feet upward. And this water is just pouring down towards the city as fast as it possibly can. Within moments, you see it's crashed upon the city. It devours everybody, this huge wave. And as the waves settle, the city is completely submerged. You see a soft glow begins at the center of the water where you used to know where Crater Lake would be, and that soft glow becomes this angry, harsh red haze as you realize the center of the lake is boiling, possibly from the volcano below. As the water sort of churns and bubbles, you see a red M in the center, and as that happens, your vision sort of fades out. Shortly thereafter, you guys awaken from your sleep, almost all together simultaneously.
I just roll out of bed real quick. I've had these dreams often.
The rest of you haven't. I think Gassie's the only other person that's experienced these dreams, but everybody else, except for Jack, this is the first time you've experienced these dreams. And you see Shensen sort of is looking, and you can see the sweat is just pouring off of her forehead as she sits up and sits there looking at the whole group.
I wake up and start and go, M.
Is everyone okay?
Just had a weird dream.
Hot cauldron, hot cauldron. Jumping around.
You dreamt of the cauldron?
Yeah,
So did I.
it's boiling over.
Gassy, you too?
I remember a giant red M.
Is that because they don't have the wands?
Maybe.
What do you think the red M stands for?
don't know. I haven't heard of anything like that.
I wonder if we were just facing the wrong way, and it's a red W for the wands.
I'm trying to think back through anything that we've come across that might have had an M as its name. What was the name of that beholder? Does anyone remember?
I don't think we got his name.
I don't see anything in my memory notes. Should we go back to St. Cuthbert and let them know about the wands?
Well, I think we have to.
Mm-hmm. There's only 3 horses, so we're going to have to ride double.
Jensen says, I can ride double. If you don't mind, Gassy, I'll ride with you.
Sure.
Assuming Jack and Jester are riding together, so I guess that leaves Eris and myself.
Will a body fit in a bag of holding?
Yes, a body will fit in a bag of holding.
I will not.
You just stick your head out.
I'm going to cast aid on the same people I did last time.
All right,
Jack
sounds good.
And Eris and myself.
Great.
So, Jester, you're taking the registry, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Right, I'll grab some of the sheets off of one of these beds and then go down, wrap up the body and the head.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. So you take the sheets and kind of wrap up the body. I think they buried. Oh, I think they. Oh no, they buried the owners. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, the owners.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yep, I couldn't remember. Okay, so yeah, you're able to do that. Okay. Mask this. There's tokens off to the side. I can't grab them, so I don't know why they're there. Okay, so you go down and are able to wrap it up. No problems.
Heading back to Cauldron.
Yep.
Did we find like any like valuables while we were here?
There were some coins on the table that I picked up. I don't know how much.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. There was some coins, just some variable sort of random things, but nothing of significance other than what was sort of already stated. So,
Okay, so they basically took all the personal belongings of everybody in here before
Yep.
we actually got in. All right.
Exactly. Yep. And for the coins,
I was just going to try to see if there was anything of value we might be able to return to anybody, families that are in this book if they're in Cauldron.
gotcha. So there was 644 copper. $280 silver. 200 gold. 30 gold. 4 platinum. Okay. Right. Anything else that you guys want to do before we leave? Leave, I should say.
I'll ask Shinsen. Is there a way to contact like any of the rangers in this area so that they can like secure this place?
But yes, that's why I need to get back home. Not back home. I need to get to Cauldron. The master leader, Mirthan, is in Cauldron currently celebrating the festival. As soon as I get back, we'll be able to secure it.
Okay, then I will try to just make sure everything is locked down. Like all of the doors are locked as best as possible when we leave.
Alrighty. So yeah, she kind of helps secure those, and as she does, Eris, she kind of puts a lock on it, and she says, "I think with me being the caretaker of the chapel here, I'd be locking this place up so soon."
Oh, you're the caretaker? Yeah, this isn't gonna look good on your record.
But we all must tend to what we do, right? Face the consequences if there's any.
Oh, that is true.
Kind of helps lock up that last door for you, and you see the windows are all barricaded up and shuttered and whatnot. And she says, and she goes over to Jester. She says, "May I borrow a piece of paper?"
Yeah, sure. I'll look through the registry and get a blank piece.
Alrighty. She takes a writing utensil and she writes on there, "Lucky Monkey temporarily closed. Please feel free to use the stables if need shelter." And she sort of hammers it up against the door there. I think that's good. I think. And as she finally finishes sort of hammering that up, you suddenly see the drops start falling down on you all as you're there, and you see these dark clouds start rolling in. Gonna be a wet ride, I see.
We have no clue where those two people ran off to, do we?
You can
The
do a
ones that she was describing.
if you'd like to. You can do a survival check. You're talking about the two alley bashers that ran from the battle?
No, I'm talking about the two that she was describing to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you haven't seen them at all? I mean, if you want to do a survival check and look around, you're more than welcome to see if you can find some hints.
Yeah, I don't do those things outside of town.
Okay. Sounds good. You're one of those highfalutin people, huh? You only do that kind of stuff in town.
I can track a breeze through an alley in town, but I can't track a Tarrasque across the muddy floor.
There you go.
right, I guess we will mount up and start heading back home.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
steering this horse, right? Eris?
Yes, Lee, I'm steering the horse.
Excellent.
All right, so you guys continue, and as you do, the rain starts becoming sort of a steady rainfall a couple hours into your travel, and the road becomes muddy, and Eris, you immediately recognize that we have now sort of entered into the quote-unquote flood season, and this is a typical storm that you would see that would come through during that time when the rain is coming down. So whoever, I forget who we do for outside survival checks, but whoever would like to do a survival check for me would be great. Whoever is the highest, I don't remember who that is. Whoever would like to do it, I guess. It doesn't have to be the highest.
It's definitely not me.
Gassy
I
with
think
the
it's
highest
Gassy.
wisdom.
What?
You see Gassy
Well.
he seems distracted as you guys are kind of walking, almost preoccupied with something in his head.
Got a +2 here. Are dwarfs distracted while we're traveling? Maybe we should sing a song.
Hey, what do I
Should we
gotta
do
do to get?
one of your dwarven work songs?
I gotta
Hi
take my.
ho! Hi ho!
Hey,
I knew that was coming.
hey, none of that.
We did dig in our mind through the whole day through.
What do I gotta do to fix my armor here?
Oh,
Can you do
it
that
fixes
for
on
me, Eris?
it fixed on a long rest. It's
okay.
fixed. I just had to take it off.
All right, finally. Hey, what's all this noise and chatter about? And I'm not talking about you guys.
Look, I know you're distracted with the elf hanging on you, but we're just trying to make sure that we're headed in the right direction and nothing is after us.
Oh, well, we're just going back the other way we came, right? It's on the road.
Gassy, how long have you been traveling with us?
I'll do a survival check.
All right, sounds good. I should make him do a deception check from the rosy cheeks he got when you made that comment, Eric.
Okay, I'll do a deception check.
Oh, nice. All right, that's up to you. I'm just teasing you.
She must be a wizard because he's enchanted.
No, he didn't do so well. Survival was great, but Gassy couldn't hide the blush.
So we're going the right way, though.
You are, and the reason why I had you roll survival was to see if you ended up wandering into some random creatures and whatnot. But you were able to continue travel just like you did on the way out here, avoiding, sort of things you may hear, baboons in the woods, because remember that you'd heard that before, but it's not as present as it was before. Baboons and monkeys. But you do avoid sort of, at one point you see a large sort of reptilian quadrupedal creature sort of walk across the road, aka dinosaur, that you're able to sort of stop as you see it kind of moving its way through to avoid sort of any sort of dinosaur entanglements, if that's what you desire. unless you want to attack a dinosaur, then you're more than welcome to. Yeah, right, Lee? Exactly.
I stop and say, you guys
fought a
carry
dinosaur.
on. No, we'll let the dinosaur cross unimpeded.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, you kind of look out and you see this and you hear do 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 do. All right.
So we feel small vibrations in the ground is what we're feeling.
Yeah,
See
exactly.
a little shaking at the edge of mud puddles.
Yeah, that's the only picture I could find off the top of my quick. I don't know if I have another quadruped in here.
I've never fought
guys
a
are bipedal.
dinosaur in D&D. I'm gonna put up a dinosaur crossing sign. Oh, I'm getting hit by a carriage.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You're right; those ones are bipedal. I'll see if I can find a quadrupedal one.
I was thinking sauropod.
That one, oh yeah. I don't even know if they have even that one in here. I don't know what they have, to be honest. We've never really used these, or at least I haven't. All right. So you guys are continuing, unless you want to attack one. I mean, that's up to you.
No, I don't. I don't know what Lee's planning, but I never do.
Only if they're about 6 inches tall.
Oh, I apologize.
No, I don't know if I've ever seen one either. So no, no, hell no.
They don't have a picture, but I do have a brontosaurus, so we could have a brontosaurus come walking across your path.
Oh, can we build a platform saddle for it?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Who's going to train it? Is it raining?
It is raining. Here, I'm sorry. I don't have it loud enough, do I?
No, I heard something.
Sound.
And by the time you guys are about 4 or 5 hours in, it's now, you can kind of hear the thunder, and the rain is literally pouring down. So everything you own is soaking wet, and it's just sort of dripping, literally if you have a helmet or some sort of thing to block your vision, it's literally like dripping off of everything, almost like a run of water as it's pouring down on you.
I just put my shield over the top of my head so that it, like, at least isn't, like, pounding on the back of it.
Perfect. So as she does that, Lee, the water pours off more towards you, and now you're getting like a runoff of water into your face as you're riding behind her.
Told you to get in the bag.
That's okay. I'm going to pull out my shield and hold it over my head, tilting it forward a little bit.
So there's like a river running between the two of you.
No. I'm making sure that, because see, her coat vest has ridden up a little bit.
So water pours down her back. And the next thing you see is Eris and Lee duking it out on the trail.
You see any other animals on the trail?
Are you looking for any animals in particular?
No, I was just wondering if we ride up on any animals while it's raining.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that are kind of scattering around, but once it starts really pouring, they seem to sort of kind of find little spots to hide in the rain and things like that.
Cool.
If you were looking for something specific, I'd have you do a nature roll, and we'd see if we could find something. But
oh no.
Okay, gotcha. I just wanted to check this.
So we pushed the horses pretty hard to get there in one day. So with this rain, it's gonna probably cut our time in half, right?
Pushing through the
Getting
rain.
back.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you could. If that's what you'd like to do, you absolutely can.
No, I mean it's gonna be much slower, is what I meant.
Correct. Exactly. Yes. Unless you're going to push the horses, because you can push them towards exhaustion if you wanted to continue. But you're right. I mean, you'd be slogging through mud, and it's obviously a lot more work for them to go through this rain.
Not to mention the fact that we're double person each mount.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. And Jack probably is pretty heavy. That poor horse. He weighs like 800 pounds or something, doesn't he? He's heavy. Oh, he's not
Been
too
on
heavy.
an all liquid diet lately.
Yeah, 286. He's not too heavy.
That's
all right.
the same weight as Eris, isn't it?
Wow.
Well, she's the stockiest one of the whole group, I think, other than Jack.
Wow.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Wow.
I know, right? I yikes.
Somehow, I feel like I'm in trouble when I shouldn't.
I'm just kidding, Lee.
I'm
Wow.
just big boned.
I'm 120 pounds, and I do recall that she weighed more than I did.
Yeah, see, as you're riding, Shenson looks to you and she says to you, he is not very elegant, is he?
No, he's not well suited to the social life.
I see that.
He does better up in the rafters.
I see that as well. So as you guys continue on the path and moving through it, it does obviously with the rain and the clouds and whatnot and the lightning that occasionally happens. By the time you reach the city, it is dark, nighttime. Normally, you could either come in the south city gates or the west city gates with the direction you're coming from. South is typically probably the path that you would come through, and yeah.
Not the smartest design for a city. Drainage is a problem, I think.
You say that as you're climbing up this large hill of the side of the cauldron.
Yeah.
Can we even get into town after dark?
I don't think they lock things down at night, especially during the Flip Festival.
So as you get to the gate, you see the gate is locked and closed. There are some guards up on the top, and you hear one of them yell down, "Field 2, who are you? What's your travels? What's going on?"
Nar and the Aquanauts.
One of them says, "Nar?
Yep.
Hey, you're supposed
Aqua knots.
you're supposed to be at the Dirty Bucket tonight.
I know. I'm running a little late.
We missed you at the Tip Tankard last night. Where were you?"
I had to go out of town. I was doing something out at the Lucky Monkey.
Oh,
Really killed him out there.
just that bolt of lightning shoots down and thunder. Oh, well, good job. The good old Lucky Monkey. I've never been there. Here it's a great place. Here they got great mead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lit that place up.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Boy, I'll have to get out there sometime.
Yeah, they're, I think they're remodeling right now.
Oh,
Maybe I'll wait
okay.
a few months.
Hang on. I have to get the sergeant. And you see he kind of comes down off the wall, and you see the other people are there kind of just sort of staring out. You don't see anybody outside with you all. You're just the only ones that are there at this point. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, you hear the gate sort of kind of a loud click and a clank and a boom and a bang, and all of a sudden the gate slowly opens just enough to allow you guys to be able to get through the gate. As you come in, he's like, "Man, it's really raining out there tonight."
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Well, it's the flood season. It's time for the festival, that's for sure. It's good. I'm glad that the city's protected. Thank God for the wands.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Thank God for the wands.
And he's just kind of smiling, and he says, "Are you going to be heading down? I may go to the Dirty Bucket later tonight after my shift if you're going to be there, but if not, I'll try to catch up. Where's the next venue?"
Hoping to do the Slippery Eel on Thursday, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of busy right now.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep my eyes open, and good to see you. And he kind of looks and sees the rest of the group, and he says, "Oh, hi, Aquanauts. It's good to see you all. I don't know if I've ever seen you all, and oh, you have a new member." And Shensen kind of looks, and she says, "I'm not part of the group. They were escorting me through. The road is difficult at this time of the season." And he says, "Ah, yes." He says, I'm sorry, ma'am, I need your name." And you see he kind of quickly runs and grabs sort of a ledger as the other guards are there. And they said, we're going to have to hold here for a minute. And as he comes back, he says, "Oh, I apologize, everybody, but there's a tax for the flood season. You're going to have to pay some money for a gate fee. I know you're from the city, and I love your the way you guys do everything, but you understand, right?"
Oh, yeah, that's fine. How much is it?
So I'm told that I need to collect a silver from each of you, and I'm sorry, miss, but I need a gold piece from you.
Oh, here you go. I'll cover it.
Oh, thank you. And he asks her name, and he says, "Ma'am, your name?" And she says, "Shensen Tessero." And he kind of writes it down. He says, and your home?" She says, the jungle. He's like, oh, okay, and he writes it down.
When did they implement this tax? This isn't normal for the city.
Oh, yes. You haven't been here. There was a new posting yesterday that there was going to be a gold tax for any non-residents visitors, and I know you guys live here, but we're going to do a silver for supposed to do a silver for everyone else. And as he's talking, he sort of points towards the gate there, and you guys are kind of underneath in the gatehouse here, and you can see the gate and along the walls, and you see he kind of points over to a notice that's sort of hanging there.
Written in ink on parchment and stuck up on the wall in the rain, right?
No,
In
you're
the
underneath the
gatehouse.
gatehouse. Yeah, you're in the gatehouse between the two walls. So, but yes, if it was outside in the rain, like the letter that Shensen wrote, probably is all sort of drippy and can't read anything on it anymore.
Huh, I wonder what they're going to do with all of this extra coin they're bringing in. And I'll go ahead and pay for mine.
Okay, gotcha. And he says, I don't know. I think the Lord says that we need this tax money for protection, and I'm sure there's reasons, right? I mean, why else would we collect so much tax?
It's 1 silver, right?
Yeah, yes, please. And
Here's 10 coppers.
oh, okay, thank you. And he looks at his buddy. He says, "Is 10 copper equal to 1 silver?" Buddy kind of nods. He says, "Thank you. Gassy, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so. I saw your swimming in the lake at the tournament. You did
It was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
oh yeah. You float really well.
I know. I'm the
Yeah.
best floater.
You are a good floater. No doubt.
We
no
nicknamed
doubt.
him Bob after that.
He goes, "I don't get that."
You get Bob up and okay.
Kind of tips his head and looks at you kind of quizzically like, "Bob, I." And he just sort of shakes his head and it's like,
Jester,
He
they
looks-
don't have the smart ones on duty this time of night.
Oh, oops.
and he takes coin from Lee and again he asks his buddy, he's like, is this enough for the silver? And he just kind of rolls his eyes and nods his head and he says, thank you, sir.
Shinsen, do you have enough to cover?
I
Shens-
gave a gold up for her.
yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
nods and said, Jester, or Nar, or however you introduced yourself to her, I'm not sure how you did.
I can't remember.
Probably the full thing, because he's always doing the full thing and telling about the
That's true, the Aquanauts and everything.
2-for-1 drinks. So
Yeah, that's right. You see in a minute the guard that's sort of standing there that isn't really talking to you. He says, excuse me. And he kind of walks over and he reaches over to the guard's pocket and he pulls out all the coin and you see him counting and he looks down. He says, I'm sorry, but there's only 19 copper here. We're missing a copper.
I look over at Gassy and say, "Did you count it incorrectly this time?"
no, I gave a full 10.
I'm sorry. I need a copper, please.
Does he have a hole in his pocket?
I
He kinda
started
looked.
looking around on the ground.
Yeah, you see they're all looking around and the guy kind of pulls his pocket and he sort of like pulls his pockets out and you see the guard that was kind of counting them. He just shakes his head. He's like, check the satchel. And so he looks at the satchel and he feels the bottom. He's like, no, there's no hole here.
You know, it's dark. Maybe we miscounted. Here, let me grab another one.
Ah, thank you. I appreciate that.
We don't want to hold up.
You see that the gate is closed behind you, and there's a couple guards that are sort of locking the gate as you're there, dealing with this guard and the counting of coppers.
Yeah,
So
I'll toss him one.
He takes the
I
coppers.
look at the guy kind of askance because I think he's pocketed one.
Gotcha. So you kind of give him that look, and he's like, "Thank you, I appreciate that," and the Lord Mayor appreciates it as well. He kind of nods, and the other guard says, "Okay, I'll see you over at the Slipper Eel or the Tip Tankard. I don't remember which one on Thursday, so I'll be there. I'll check both. Bye,
Oh,
Aquanauts."
Slipper eel. Bye.
Okay, all right. And you see, he's like, "That was the Aquanauts. Isn't that great?" And the guy goes, "Not as good as Stormblades." And then you see them kind of walk up into the tower.
Oh, maybe this. I whispered to Nar, maybe the Stormblades will bring back the wands.
No luck in that one.
Jensen sort of slides off the horse as you get there, and she turns around and she says, "I appreciate all of you and everything that you have done. I am truly indebted to you." Says, where do you live in case I need to get in touch with you?
Cauldron.
I'm currently at the staying with the monks at the St. Cuthbert's, whatever.
She nods. She says, "I understand too that I can go to the local taverns at night and maybe take in a show or two."
Yeah, and don't forget to tip our maidens and entertainers.
I won't. She smiles. She says, "I'm going to find Mirthan and talk to him, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to meet up with you again. If you need anything in the future, please find me. If I'm not here in town, you can definitely find me out at the Lucky Monkey."
You said
Who?
Mirthan?
Mirthan, yes.
Is that spelled with an M?
She says, "Yes, it is."
Huh. Interesting. Does he usually spell it with a big red M?
She says, "Why, yes, he does."
Maybe we should make sure that she gets to where she's going.
Yeah, I wonder if Mirthan would want to talk to us.
If you're not going to do the music, she's going to say, "No, I don't think he does."
Do you think Mirthan wants to talk to us?
She says, "No, I don't think he does." I just want to hear the music again.
I'm going to lean forward to Eris a little bit and say, "Do you know who this Marathon is?"
Never heard of him.
Figuring that since she's the one who lived in town her whole life, that she might know who it is.
Sure. No, I get it completely. So yeah, probably, yeah, I think Eris would tell you if she knew him or not. Or maybe she
I
wouldn't.
don't know every single elf that lives in this town.
Why? There can't be more than like a half a dozen of them.
She, you see, she continues to kind of make her way along Noble's Way, and she waves to you, and you see she pulls her hood up, and she seems very comfortable walking in the rain. And she quickly makes her way through the city street, walking very briskly as she continues on her way.
Well, I guess we'll go to St. Cuthbert's and break the news.
Okay. So you guys kind of continue through the city, get over to St. Cuthbert. You do see that the time in the city is the time when you typically would see a lot of people on the street at night, especially during the festival. But with the rains that are occurring, you see that the population is a little bit muted on who's outside, and you see people are quickly kind of moving about down the streets. Nobody's really kind of meandering and whatnot. A lot of the street stalls and marketplaces are covered up at this point with tarps and things, so everything's pretty much closed. So as you move through and get to St. Cuthbert, You do see the door is open to the main sanctuary that's there, and the main prayer room. And as you enter in, obviously the rain doesn't occur anymore. So let's get rid of the rain noise. And you feel that sort of that same peace that you usually do as you walk in here, and you see that most of the things have sort of been closed. Closed up, but you've been here long enough. You know how to easily get a hold of Jenya if you want to in the night.
Is my little buddy around? What's his name?
Rufus?
Yeah.
Good old Rufus. So, Rufus, you know what room he's sleeping in, or what room is his. You see there is a small candle that's sort of flickering under the door of his room, but he's not out and about in the main area.
I'll knock on his door and say, "Go get Jenya for us."
All right, so he opens up the door, and you see he's in a long sort of sleep robe. He's got a sleep cap, and his eyes are kind of squinty. He's like, Gassy, you're back. Yes, of course, right away. And you see quickly throws on some sandals and kind of goes running down the hallway towards Jenya's room. As after a few minutes or so, you see he comes back. He says she's just becoming she's just preparing to get ready. Just one moment, please.
We'll need a private meeting hall too.
Of course, of course. She said you're more than welcome to meet in her office, and you guys know where that's at, so
Yep.
you guys can easily walk over there. And as you do, you see that Jenya comes in shortly thereafter. Not very much time, and probably about 5 minutes at the most. And she's wearing sort of some robes that are there. You can see her hair is sort of all sort of disheveled. It looks like she had probably gone to bed early. Her eyes are open and wide though, and she does appear to be definitely awake. Have sort of gotten the sleepies away, and she walks in and she says, "Oh, good God, I'm glad you're back. Tell me, what did you find?" And then she looks around. She's like, "Where's Sarkum?"
We didn't get there quick enough.
Said what?
We've retrieved his body.
Her
and
eyes
have
go
a
big.
place to lay him.
Her eyes get really big, and she just sort of stares at you. And as she does, you see the shock in her face, and you see some tears kind of sort of form and sort of drip down her face for about 5 or 10 seconds or so. She's there, and immediately eyes get back to normal, and she reaches up and she just takes one hand and she just takes the finger and just sort of wipes each tear away from the corners of her eyes and clears her throat. She said, "Yes, that is so unfortunate to hear." She said, "Please, where is his body?" And she looks around and doesn't see any body and laying in wait.
We have him in stasis.
He's outside, I take it, on the altar?
That's where I will put him.
She says, "Do you need help preparing? I can ask Rufus." And she yells, "Rufus!" And you see a couple
Do you have
seconds
any
later.
super glue?
She says, "Super glue?" I don't know what that
Staple
is.
gun?
Stapler?
Stapler? I don't know what that is either.
How about
Yeah.
just some duct tape?
We don't have
Maybe
ducks here.
some stitching string or something.
Holy wire?
He's kind of in a couple of parts.
He's beside himself.
Oh my gosh. She just kind of looks at you all and she's almost speechless. I'm speechless. Her mouth is open. She's like, "What?"
And the wands weren't there.
Yeah, Gassy, you tell her all about that. Lee, help me.
You see Leonaris quickly run out of the room with the, or not run, but walk briskly out of the room. The
I'll
wa-
be just one step ahead of her.
Oh my God. It just keeps going. She says, "The wands? Gassy, the wands are gone?"
They weren't there. We looked through the whole building.
Oh my God. She's like, do you have any other good news to tell me?
We killed a baboon creature that was kind of in charge of a whole flock of baboons or whatever you call them. And Nar, you got some information out of one of those guys, didn't you?
Yeah. Seems like they're picking up peasants to come help them. Promised them loot and gold.
She kind of just sort of shakes her head, and now that she's had some time, she walks around to the desk and kind of sits behind the desk there. And obviously, there's chairs there for you all to sit in as well, because she has enough for all five of you, even though there's only three of you there.
Oh yeah, we all had a dream too.
A dream?
Yeah, much like the last one that we told you about, but this one ended with Cauldron underwater and some big red M boiling up from the bottom. Does
Wow.
that mean anything to you?
No, Gassy, can I? My head is spinning. Let's. A lot has happened. Can we take one thing at a time, please?
Sure. I just, which thing do you want to start with?
She's like, first and foremost, the wands. So you didn't find anything with the wands at all? There's like no.
We found a sack. You guys had a sack with 4 gems, an empty potion container, and what else was in there? A ring. I show him the ring, Nar. Show her the ring.
I'll show her the ring, my pinky.
It's on your pinky. She goes, huh. I didn't think he was a man of wearing jewelry. At least he hasn't in the past. That's interesting. He was wearing it?
No, it was just in the bag.
Huh. And she said, oh my gosh, his mace. Do you have his mace?
I don't think we picked up his mace, no.
She sort of just breathes.
It didn't seem special.
Puts her hand on her head, and she just kind of puts both elbows sort of on the table, and she just rests her head right inside her hands, completely covering her face. Mace is important.
It's still there. We could go get it.
Says the mace is the mace of the leader of St. Cuthbert's Church here in Cauldron. Symbolic in its own nature. It shows who leads the church. I know you didn't know. I understand you're not a follower of St. Cuthbert, but that's the holy symbol of St. Cuthbert.
Okay.
I
Live and learn.
Kind of the sort of a badge of sorts, if you want to think of it. She says, gosh, I'll send Rufus to get it. It's okay.
Okay.
Says you can keep the flasks and the gems and the ring. That's not that important. And
the gems aren't part of the wands, are they?
No. The wands, they have their own inset gems in them. You can't take them out. Rhoda sits up and she says, guess I'm the high priestess now.
Do you have any idea who'd want the wands?
And does his name start with M?
Right? She says, I'm sure there's many people that would want the wands. I mean, the wands were put together by the 5 churches. It was our responsibility for the wands to be delivered this year. Every church takes their own turn. I don't. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I think somebody's trying to hurt the city. I mean, we've had good winters, so we may make it through without any flooding, but I I just worry about the people on the Ash Avenue and on the lower levels.
Hmm.
Have you heard of a Myrthan?
You said Myrthan?
Yes.
Yes. Leader of the Striders, of course. Haven't met him in probably a year or two, but we met one time on travel. I think Sacrum had introduced me one time. We were traveling. Nice fellow. Quiet. Doesn't really talk much. Seems to be always contemplating something, but sure, I know him. I haven't seen him in a while. Why do you ask?
He's the only person I know whose name starts with an M that since we've been here, so I'm just trying to find the wands.
Yeah, of course. And she kind of says, of course. And the dream you had talked about, you had said there was an M in the lake?
Yes, a red M, and the lake was boiling.
Huh. She looks at you and she says, Gassy, you have very strange dreams.
Yeah, we all had that dream.
She looks to Jester. You did too?
Yeah, I had the same dream.
Looks
Boiling
to
water, Nem.
Looks to Jack. And you, Jack?
Me too.
Which is remarkable since Jack doesn't even sleep.
Yes, that is. It's amazing. Says, I'm not sure. I can pray to St. Cuthbert and see if he has any information, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
Well, please do. We need some help here.
Of course. Eris and Lee, you guys came out with the body out into the sanctuary. You see Rufus is there. He's in his sandals that he has and his robe and his hat. And he says, yes, what did you need help with?
We just need to put Sacrum's body up on this altar right here, I guess.
Oh, sure, of course. And you see, he immediately turns and he starts walking towards the door. He says, I'm going to help you get him off the horse.
He's over here.
Suddenly turns. He says, I didn't see his body anywhere.
I'll put the bag on the floor next to the altar.
His eyes
and
get
open
big.
it up.
He says, oh my, you did not stuff his body in that small bag.
Head of Sacrum.
Did you pull that out by the hair? Oh my God. Rufus faints. Boom. Down he goes.
Damn, it's like a Medusa's head. It turned into stone.
I'll put the head up there. And Lee, help me pull this body out, please.
I'm going to help her pull the body out and put it up there, but make sure that the body is face down while the head is face up.
That's wrong.
All right,
I'll
so
flip
body's
it over.
face
Be
down.
respectful, man. This is the guy that was the head of the church. I'll try to clean it up with prestidigitation so that,
okay.
if there was any
that's
leakage.
going to make him look way better, yes. Yes.
Just so that there's nothing leaking out,
No one will notice that little fine line that's jagged along the edges.
You shouldn't defrost for another couple hours.
So you guys put him up there, and you kind of prestidigitate him and do all the things that you're doing there, and you see.
I'm going to light a cigarette and then stick it in his between his lips, so it looks like he's laying up there smoking.
Oh, God.
Take it out and throw it at Lee. Behave, man! Show some respect.
Where's Snortle, man? We could have some fun with that.
Rufus sort of gets up and he says, "Oh, I don't know what happened. I hit my head. You see a small little blood is now on his white sort of sleeping robes, and his hat has a big red stain on it.
It's okay. I know you're young. You're not used to seeing bodies like this. It's understandable.
Yeah. And he says, oh, that's
It's
right.
easy to lose your head around here.
The body, I see. Oh, you brought it in. I must have been knocked out longer than I thought.
Yeah, exactly that.
He gets up and he says, oh my God. And he goes, and he almost like throws up. He's like, they cut his head off.
Some goulash stew would warm me up right now.
Pukes all over.
Hopefully not on the body. I turn around and I go back to the office.
It pukes on the body. All over it.
I'm not cleaning that up.
That might help hold the head in place.
He throws up again.
I'm going over and sitting out of the rain next to the building.
All right, gotcha. The Lee goes out, and you see he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And he's trying to like clean it up with his the bottom of his robe. He's like trying to get all the puke now up off the high priest body.
So it was his body, I take it.
Yeah, it was Sacrum's body. That's right. As he's kind of doing that, he says, "Oh, Miss Eris.
Yes.
Did you see this on the back of his hair? The back of the head?"
I didn't do that.
No, of course. Please. See in the back, sort of in the hairline, there's a tattoo that's back there. And it looks very new. And it looks like it's sort of been almost magically burnt into the skin or something of the sort. And you see that there's a symbol. And there's these three shapes that are on each corner. So there's a triangle. And on the top, there's a hand gripping an eyeball. The bottom left, there's an arrow, 6 arrows in a X shape. And on the far right bottom one, there's a wrathful demonic face there.
All right, so the player knows what that is, but would Eris have any clue?
That's a great question. So I would need Eris to do either a history check or I'd need her to do a religion check. Eris would know what that is. She knows the symbols, at least. May not know why they're together, but she knows the symbols.
Does it look like it was tattooed on him after he was dead?
Yes.
Yeah, that's concerning, Rufus. You know what those symbols are, right?
He looks at you and he sort of shakes his head slowly, and he quickly does some genuflecting to Saint Cuthbert, and you hear him sort of saying a prayer.
All right, let's go back and talk to Jinya.
You see he shakes his head fervently no without saying a word, his eyes wide open. He goes over, he starts to try to scrub it off the skin.
No, don't do that, not yet.
Shakes his head yes, and he's scrubbing even harder, trying to get it off.
What's wrong with you?
You can't have this on him. And he kind of is like, he's like literally scratching now, where you see skin flakes kind of peeling off as he's really trying to rub off the symbols that are on his neck or on the back of his scalp.
I'll try to pull him away. Stop!
He's like, stop! It has to go away. And he kind of pulls his arm away, and he again starts to really sort of rub and scrub on it, trying to get it off. He's like, he can't have these symbols. It can't happen this way.
What do you mean?
These are bad symbols.
I know.
He will never accept him into the afterlife with these symbols on his body.
We'll take care of it. Jinya will cleanse him.
I'm telling you, this is bad. And he hits the altar as hard as he can with his fist. You've never seen Rufus like this before.
I'll try to pull him away, like forcefully,
All right,
like
gotcha.
grapple him.
All right. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me a grapple roll there. So you guys are in the office, and you hear this loud bang out in the sanctuary. And you see Jenya looks up. She says, I wonder what that was. Oh, Eris. So you kind of wrap your arms around him. I'll even give
Did
him...
I roll my 1?
Oh, you pretty close. You rolled a 2. And so, yeah. So he sort of pulls away as he does, and he says, "You won't do that!" And it yells, and it kind of reverberates throughout. He's like, "I'm going to take care of this!" And you can hear Jenya and everybody in the office. You can hear now Rufus yelling that. Go ahead, Eris. You were going to say something?
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh, I thought you said
I
something.
guess
Sorry.
we'll get up and start heading out there. And
Jenya goes, "What's going on out there?" And you see she gets up as well.
I follow her out.
So, Eris, you see he's kind of standing there defiantly at you, and he says, "Move aside. I'm going to take care of this right now."
We need to let
going on,
Jenya
Rufus?
see it.
The three of you come in, and you see he's standing there, and him and Eris are at odds, and you see the bodies there, and he's like, "Oh, God!" And he immediately runs past you, Eris, and you guys see him run over to the head, and he starts literally taking his nails, and he's scratching the back of his head with his nails, trying to get the on the skin. Jenya goes, "Rufus, stop that!" He's like, "You can't see it. You can't see it, ma'am." He just continues to scrape at it.
Jack, can you help me restrain him?
I can restrain him.
So Jen looks at Gassy and Jester at the same time, sort of concerning, like, what? Oh my goodness. You think so, huh, Jack? Oh yeah, you do this time. So you see Jack goes over and just probably picks him up.
Yeah, he just picks him up.
You see he kind of hits Jack in the arms, but he's obviously not a very strong gentleman, so he's like, "Stop that, stop that!" And you see as he does, his fingernails have now sort of been peeled off from him digging so much into the skin.
I'm going to say, what's wrong with him, Eris?
Well, there's a pretty concerning symbol on the back of his head, of Sacrum's head. It looks like it was tattooed there after he was killed.
So as
Can't be
go ahead.
that bad. I'm gonna walk over and take a look. See if I
Okay,
know what it
alrighty.
is.
Gotcha. So you see those 3 symbols as well. If you want to roll, you can. That's fine. Religion or history. And so you kind of take a look and see what you see there, and Jenya starts to...
I think we've all gotten silly tattoos in our lives. It doesn't look that bad. What is it?
You don't recognize the symbols?
Is that a band in Sasserine or something?
No, that's the symbol of Vecna.
Oh my Jesus! Go run behind Jack.
All right.
Run, hide behind Jack.
You hear Jenya is just sort of... She comes around, takes a look, and she just shakes her head.
I've never seen such a thing.
We're seeing all 3 of them together, and she kind of walks over to where Jack is and Rufus, and she kind of reaches up to Rufus as Rufus is kind of fighting, and she just puts her hand just gently on his face, and just that touch just sort of stops everything, and she looks at him, and he looks at her, and she says, "Rufus, it's fine." He calms down. He's like, "I just didn't want you to see it." She's like, "It's okay." He's like, "It's not okay. It's fine." She says, "Jack, thank you. You can put him down. He'll be okay."
Jack, put down. Don't put him down.
All right, and you see immediately, like, Jenya and Rufus just kind of give this kind of hug, and she just sort of pats his head, almost as like a child, right? Sort of soothing him, and he just begins to sob as you guys are all standing there.
I'm not sure what this means with the 3 of them, the symbols together. I don't think we saw any of the other bodies of the people that we fought that had the same symbol on them, though.
I know a guy in Sasserine. He does some cover-up work. We can turn that into a chicken or something. Maybe an eagle. I don't
I love it. I guess, Gassy, I am going to have you do a religion roll for me. And yeah, we'll have you do a religion. Yep. Oh. Well. So, Gassy, I'm pretty sure you remember, but you remember what the three symbols together mean, correct? From a year and a half of playing? Please. Love of everything and my hope. Remember those symbols all together? He does it.
Here's a hint. This campaign.
Are we looking for what's her name?
Oh, Gassy. Oh.
Yeah, I remember what the three symbols. Something the hand of Vecna, isn't it?
It's close. It's close. The Ebon Triad.
Oh. Yes, I remember that.
There's real life tears coming down my face. My masterpiece, my work. Just kidding. It's not my stuff, actually. Yeah, so you recognize that it's the Ebon Triad. You've heard of this before. You've heard of this group before. These heretics of the three churches sort of merging together to form this sort of overpowering deity, right? And you've even heard about this group way off in Greyhawk and whatnot, and supposedly there's some ruins close around here that were sort of involved with this somehow. And so you're aware of this, and you've heard of it, but you've not. I mean, these are stories that you've read about, right? In your training, it's not anything that you've seen around here. Mm-hmm. But you are correct. It does have to deal with the hand and the eye of Vecna.
Well, I know where the hand is.
Right.
I know who has it, sort of.
Right. Exactly. On a out of game sort of thing, right?
You also know, out of character, a blonde elf woman with an eye.
You do.
That too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got that too.
My. A blonde elf.
Yep.
Hey, she was at the. There was a woman with an eye like that this drow saw at the inn that we were at. I do know that in character.
Right, you do. Yep, that's right. So, so you kind of recognize about the the Ebon Triad and whatnot, but you don't know the connection, and you don't know. I mean, obviously, you know that there was a lady with an eye there, and you know about Vecna, right? And your basic sort of learning about the eye of Vecna, you've heard of it before. So it does kind of piece together. So after about
they didn't what's his name find out where they were staying? Don't you know where their camp was, Nar? Didn't that guy tell you?
No, he wasn't able to tell me. He drew me an excellent diagram of where he lives currently.
You even see there's like 8 little kids playing in the field now. Like, you didn't see the detail, but there's a lot of detail there, and there's like he even drew out like the little grain on the door and stuff like that, and you can see the little house symbol on it. His name is written across it. It was very, very artistic. Signed like Picasso at the bottom. I don't know, something like that. He was missing an ear. It's all good. All right. So after a few minutes of obviously Jenya sort of comforting Rufus. Rufus seems to be better under control now, and She kind of turns to you all and she says, "So, what is the next step?"
Well, I think we have to find the wands, right?
Agree. But not only for the city of Cauldron, but for the Church of St. Cuthbert. If we were tasked to find the wands and bring them back for the yearly festival, and we don't, as you know, that could be devastating. Church Cord and Weejas are looking for any reason for having a higher standard in the city than we are. I mean, we're friendly, but we're competitive nonetheless.
You don't think they would have anything to do with this, would you?
See why they would. It would hurt the people. I mean, granted, their church doesn't follow the same standards that we do, but maybe. I mean, it's possible. I think anything's possible at this point.
So, should we tell anyone in the city about this, or should we try to keep it quiet while we do some investigating?
I think being discreet would probably be a good idea. I would hate to have a panic arise in the city from the words of potential loss of the wands. But that being said, word doesn't stay very quiet in this town very long. Matter of fact, there may already be word, since we've been talking about it in here, out there that already knows about it. I don't know.
Well, nobody saw us bring the body in, so...
Now he
true.
stops drawing the poster of reward. Have you seen this symbol?
Very nice too, by the way. Nice drawing. She says, "Oh, you were able to keep him covered on the horse on the way in?"
We had a holding bag to carry him in discreetly. No one knows we brought him in other than the strider who came in with us.
Says, "I guess that's... You were wise to bring him in the bag. Initially, that bothered me a bit, but I understand the reason why. Thank you for being discreet. And a strider, you said?"
I think so.
Oh.
We ran into someone in the Lucky Monkey.
Jensen.
Yes.
You see a big smile comes across her face. I love that lady. She's been there for a long time. She built the chapel there and helps maintain the Lucky Monkey. She left, huh? Came back?
She came into the city with us to speak with Merthrin.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, I guess... Does she have any information? Did she know what happened? I mean, she was there.
She said not. She was helping Sacrum when she showed up, and she hid downstairs in the basement with him.
Well, if she said she didn't have any information, she's truthful in her approach, and I would believe anything she would say.
Do you know where we would find her in Cauldron? I don't remember where her group would spend time.
Striders, when they come into town, typically stay at the Drunken Morkoth. It's a place that they're commonly at. I think that's probably the location they would be. I don't think any of them have a home or an apartment or anything here, but I think that's probably the location they would be. However, the Drunken Morkoth is very busy, obviously, with the festival. I'm sure the rooms are full, so maybe she's meeting him there. Maybe they'll be able to share a room, but she definitely wouldn't be able to get a room at this time.
Well, it's good to know where she might be if we need to speak with her again.
Yes. Now, tell me a little bit more about these people you saw, or the people that were there. Somebody had said something about some blonde elf or something.
Nar, you spoke to the person who was describing him, right?
Yeah, it was a blonde elf with a dead eye in her face.
Say I've ever seen a blonde elf with a dead eye. Was there anyone else that you saw of note?
Yeah, they saw another lady with, was it red hair?
Yes.
Yeah. Another lady
Human?
with,
Elf? Dwarf? Halfling? Half
It's
orc?
a human, right?
it was human, and then blonde was an elf.
Well, if you have any more information or any details about them, you could always ask around town and see if anybody knows who they are. The elf may not be, well, maybe easier to find actually, because there's not many elves in town. But the human may be difficult, but that's possibly a lead. And she kind of looks back to Eris and she says, I've been thinking. I am concerned about the other churches. I would hope that they wouldn't do anything, but they may do this to make me lose faith and favor. Especially if they take out the high priest and steal the wands. That puts this church in a very precarious position.
Well, is it possible you can keep the death of Sacrum quiet for a while we investigate?
She says, I'm able to. Kind of looks around the room.
Well, the only other people that know about it are the ones that killed him, so I don't know if we can trust them to keep it quiet.
Fair point, Gassy. He says, Rufus, and you see Rufus he goes, yeah. She's like, you do understand the importance of what they're asking, right? And you can see she almost again treating him very motherly, like a child. And he's like, I think I understand. She's like, you can't tell anybody that he is slain. It's like, yes, but what if they ask about the high priest? He's like, they need to speak to you. She says, yes, remember, I'm the acting high priestess here. I think I understand. She kind of looks back at you all and sort of raises her eyebrows a little bit. She says, we can try to keep it as quiet as we can.
That's good. Even a few days will kind of give us a head start.
Sure. That if there's
anybody else in the city expecting him to arrive with the wands?
It's well known that the Church of St. Cuthbert was to get the wands. Now that the rain has started, we usually have a ceremony, a presentation of sorts, if you want to think of it that. Eris, you've been there probably many times to see it, where we show the wands are here and the city is comfortable to know that. So there is some concern. Typically it happens down by the Lakeside Pavilion. Would be some concern if the wands don't show. However, we can always sort of delay it, saying he was waylaid and travel and is on his way. It just is going to take him a little bit longer. Maybe the horse got laid up or something. I'm not sure. Unless you have an idea. I do want to tell you.
Sounds reasonable. When is this to take? When would you announce that, and where?
We typically do at the first rain, as you hear the rain pouring outside. But I will. I'll try to communicate to the Lord Mayor that that he's going to be a few days late. However, not to worry. The flooding I wouldn't expect until several days or weeks into it. If there's anything else I can do to help, please just ask. I'm more than happy to do anything. It's like I don't know exactly what to do.
Does this rain seem natural, and does it usually start at this time, or do you usually have a few days during the festival where it's not raining?
She says it depends on the season. Some days it rains before or after. We never really know when it's going to rain, but we always know that there's a typical season for it, and it seems normal to me. She kind of looks around to Eris and anybody else. Does anybody else feel that this is unnatural rain?
Not that it's unnatural, but all of us, had a dream last night about a flood overtaking the city.
Right, and she looks to Gassy and says, I remember you saying something about that. The M in the lake with the boiling, right?
Yes.
Virginia, what's your last name?
Great question. I don't know Jenny's last name. I don't think she has a last name. She does. I got to find it. 1 second.
Moriarty.
You're too quick. You're too quick.
It starts with an M?
Right? Exactly. When you and Lee are on the same page, I think.
I can see it now. We're going to be accusing every single person in town whose name starts with M. Ooh, maybe it's Matt Mercer. He's got 2 M's.
That's exactly who it is. That's exactly who it is. You know what? I'll have to get back to you on that because I don't see a last name for Jenya. Isn't that interesting?
I know you're keeping it quiet for a reason. She's the big bad.
She is. Actually, I'm not kidding. Oh, I did find it. It's Jenya. Oh my gosh. No wonder. This is why I don't use it. Arrakis? Holy smokes.
Eureka.
There you go.
Eurikos.
Yeah, that's probably right, actually. Eurikos.
I'm a firm believer in pronouncing everything phonetically.
Is there anything else? I must prepare the body and get it down into the catacombs of the church.
You can get that tattoo off of him, can't you?
I think Cuthbert will guide me.
Okay.
Why? Can you?
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't sure what type of powers you guys have obtained. You're becoming more and more powerful every day, it seems. As well, if there's nothing else, please, I think all of you need your sleep, and Rufus and I will work on the internment.
Okay, we'll check back with you tomorrow.
Sounds good. And again, if you think of something that you need, just let me know.
We will.
You see she kind of takes Rufus, and again, he kind of comes over and she grabs his hand and just gently walks him over there, and you can hear him sort of sobbing, and she puts her arm around him as they look at the body and whatnot, and then they sort of go back and get some, looks like incense and oils and things like that.
So are we going to return to our own places and meet up at the Dirty Bucket?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
In the morning?
Not sure. Jester might have his show still tonight.
Well, we just rode all day through the rain in the mud.
God, I should have picked up the silence spell.
Yeah, we can meet in the morning.
It is pretty late anyway, right?
It is, yeah. Lee's absolutely correct, right? With the ride in and moving through the city, and then obviously all of this inside the church and talking, and it is pretty late.
See y'all at breakfast.
All right. So I'll get rid of the brontosaurus, by the way. Sorry about that. All right. So you all go off to your respective homes and apartments and places of stay. Gassy, you'd be there as well, staying at the church again. Or did you get your own place? I can't remember.
I haven't yet.
You were looking
missed
for
my
a place.
meeting with the real estate agent because we have to go to the inn.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah. He's like, they're always standing me up.
He's got 3 sending stones waiting in his room.